What else we got?
You guys see the most recent sucking meat out of my teeth.
You better get all that out of your system. Know more about what's happening on another planet than you do on our own.
Yes. I thought that was obvious. All right, welcome back to Flicks and Dicks. I'm Travis.
I'm Mike.
I'm Lisa.
And this week we're going to be going over the Cutting Edge 1992. This is the first of, 4 movies, and this is the one that's not bullshit. And this is directed by Michael Glasser, Paul Michael Glasser, written by Tony Gilroy. And it's starring D.B. Sweeney.
And Moira Kelly.
Moira Kelly, yes. And Ray Dotrice, Terry O'Quinn. And we'll go ahead and throw Dwyer Brown in there as well. You know, he's popping up from time to time, but the rest are pretty much extras and ice skaters, I guess. We're going to go, let me go ahead and run down the synopsis here. Let me get the full summary here so I don't get tripped up by that again. All right. In the 1988 Winter Olympics in Calgary, we see Doug Dorsey battered in a vicious hockey game against West Germany. We then see Kate Mosley doing her program of falling when the lift goes bad. Both have fought all their life to get to the Olympics, and suddenly their dreams have been shattered. The movie then follows Kate, a temperamental but talented figure skater, through many partners until finally her coach resorts to recruiting a hockey player. All right. So what do you guys think of this movie?
It's perfect.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
It was... I really didn't give a shit one way or the other. I mean, it was all right.
You know, Mike, I have noticed that with a lot of our podcasts, you don't give a shit one way or the other. You know what? If you don't like these movies so goddamn much, you think of one.
You are always the guy who's like, oh my god, I've seen this movie, I've seen that movie. You are such a movie fanatic. And me, I rarely watch movies, and when I do, I'm like, God, that was awesome. But I enjoyed it.
And until our listeners start picking the movies, we're going to pick these movies. And this week, it's The Cutting Edge, so suck it.
Okay. I didn't find myself leaving it, with any deep thoughts or, whatever.
It's not about the deep thoughts of this movie. It's not.
No.
It is about the feel-good. You are wrapped up in these characters so hardcore. And, I mean, with the score alone, it's got to get your heart pumping on this. I mean, I love this movie. I've always loved this movie.
Really, after watching the movie, all I found myself thinking was, wow, I need to find one of those New Year's parties.
Oh, yeah.
Where you make out with everybody.
Everybody was kissing everybody.
Well, you guys have been to New Year's parties. You guys have done the kissing rounds and stuff like that. It's fine.
Not like that.
So we should probably preface this podcast with, Lisa and I grew up dancing. We grew up dance partners and all that. And I think the thinking was, right before I went to college, that if I didn't get into college, because it was kind of a possibility at that time, we would be figure skaters.
Yeah.
I think that
Mom wanted
really?
us to be figure skaters. Did she ever take us to the ice skating rink? No.
Not once, no.
No, wow. But damn, we can do a skate just fine.
I think that, yeah, we can do all these lifts, and that's what we're also going to talk about. These lifts, well, I can't speak to doing them on the ice. They're not hard to do. They're not hard lifts, which cracks me up in something like Dirty Dancing, right? They go through all this time and energy and do it in the water and all this stuff. I'm like, why don't you just fucking pick her up, tell her to be stiff, and just put her over your head. This is not a hard thing to do.
Be the pole.
If you didn't see that was an eye roll, But yeah, the thinking was at the time that Lisa and I would do figure skating. That Mom would transition
something new every freaking day. Really I had no clue that you guys were aspiring figure skaters.
Yes.
Even though you never set foot on the ice.
Never set foot on the ice.
No.
That's
maybe she just really wanted to make sure we were secure on the ground.
I did try a lot of these things, and I have no idea on the terms, guys. I have no idea what a double flip or a triple twist or a sow is. I have no idea. There are tons of variations of the Panchenko, right? It's a bounce spin, right? And yes, we did a variation of the bounce spin on our salsa routine.
So you swung her by her feet, twirled her in the air, and she went into the slow motion twirl once you let go.
We didn't fucking let go because that shit's dangerous. So yeah, but I have no idea with any of these ice skating terms. However, I'm familiar dancing in front of people and competing We're familiar with that.
We're familiar.
Yes, we're familiar. We're also familiar with variations on bounce spins, and yes, they are fucking dangerous.
And I still can't tell you what the hell a bounce spin is.
Lisa and I did 2 variations. We did one where she kind of straddled me, but when I spun around, and we'd go up and down and up. No, that did not sound good. No, that did not sound good.
I was hoping you would stop, but you just kept going.
It was dangerous, but it looked pretty good. Anyway.
A bounce spin just sounds like you should slam them into the ground.
It looks like, and your head did come very close to the ground on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
Oh, it's that one.
And there was also we lock arms and then spin around and then you go down. My wife and I have also done this. But yeah, we do that a number of times. It looks really good and all that shit.
Yeah, we're still talking about dancing.
Yes, just dancing. But we got D.B. Sweeney, Maura Kelly, Rob Dotris, Terry O'Quinn. Basically, those are the 4 principals.
I got lost for a second. Thought I was watching an episode of Lost. He pops out on the screen. It's like, oh my god,
Terry O'Quinn.
Terry O'Quinn.
Oh, he's in everything.
Well, yeah.
Oh, fuck, he's in everything. But we're not starting with Terry O'Quinn. We're starting with D.B. Sweeney.
I've seen his face in many things. But
have you? I've only seen him in this movie. That's it. When I first watched this movie, the only copy I could find was this. It's hilarious. And
we own it.
We own it?
Yes.
We have this on DVD?
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny?
Supposed to. I paid for it, but I was too lazy to come to your house and borrow it.
You know what's hilarious? We own it, but we don't have a DVD player. I mean, I don't watch any of these movies on DVD because that technology is freaking archaic.
Do you not have a computer that you can stick a disc in?
No.
Weird.
They don't make those computers anymore.
What?
No.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
When did they stop that?
A while ago, because Andrea got her Vario, and no, because that's old technology. It's outdated.
So what the hell do they play now? Just download.
You have to get like a peripheral. It's a peripheral now.
It's a peripheral now.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I get this first copy I watched. It was this bootleg, right? And even though I highly recommend always buying your movies, I found it on YouTube, and it was playing at 3/4 of speed. Those scenes with D.B. Sweeney, he's talking like this, and his mouth is hanging open.
Wait, hang on. You had to watch the whole movie like that?
It was hilarious. In fact,
you're giving a review in slow motion?
Oh, it's fucking funny. All the other actors just seem really disinterested, right? Because they're just like,
or drunk.
Oh, that's interesting. But then D.B. Sweeney's like, "Gall, I wonder what that was all about." It's hilarious. You guys gotta check it out.
No, there's no way I could handle watching the movie.
It's precious. Speed. Yeah, so I watched. That was the first time, and then I bought the movie and watched it for real. Yeah. It's
okay,
fine.
now I feel better that you actually watched
it. I did.
I thought that you watched it for this 3/4 speed.
Guys, I've got this movie committed to memory. Okay, I did not need to watch this movie. I'm pretty much watching it just to take notes.
You've watched the sequels.
I've watched all the sequels.
Okay, didn't Blades of Glory spoof this?
Do you know what? I don't know if Blades of Glory spoofed this so much, but Blades of Glory is fucking fantastic. I love it. I absolutely love that movie. I mean, that movie, that's a Will Ferrell movie, despite that.
God, that's the second time on a podcast where we're like, even though I don't like Will Ferrell.
Even though I don't like Will Ferrell.
This one was good. Maybe you like him more than you think you don't.
He's not a decent actor.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, fine. Then Keanu Reeves is a good actor.
No.
In Bill and Ted's. Hell yeah.
Okay, D.B. Sweeney.
D.B. Sweeney. Okay, so like I said, this is really only the only movie, unless you have something else. This is the only movie.
I've got a list of 90 some odd things that he's acted in. 94, but
anything
nothing notable. The only name that I really recognize is Brother Bear. I think he was a voice.
He was a voice actor in Brother Bear. He was a voice actor in some movie. It was an animated flick called Dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Yeah, and then he did a lot of TV series.
Oh, okay.
Lots of TV series,
he
like 24 and CSI.
He was in Taken 2. I thought he was great.
I loved the names of the characters. I thought that
Doug Dorsey. He's Douglas.
Moira Kelly's character's Doug.
He's silly boy.
He looked like a hockey player. He had he played the role beautifully.
Yeah.
Except the fact he had all of his teeth.
She
slapped him in the eye with a puck. I mean,
no, the way his mouth sits, it sits a little funny.
Yeah, it's asymmetrical, but whatever.
I like that guy.
Yeah, and he had a very appealing character, even though they're doing that whole '90s I'm a whore bit, but which is completely okay in this movie.
Especially for the 90s, because in the 90s everybody was a whore.
Yeah, but he was lovable and relatable, and I liked him.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to Moira Kelly. Now, she had a real brief run, like mainstream run. And I think it was this movie and With Honors. She was in With Honors. Boom.
She was
she was supposed to be.
She was the voice of Lion King.
She was supposed to play the little sister role in League of Our Own, Gina Davis's little sister.
That's right. I read that.
In this movie, she actually injured her ankle.
Yeah.
And so she couldn't play that role.
Ooh, maybe that's what fucked her career over.
It could have possibly.
If she was in A League of Her Own, that train couldn't have been stopped.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good.
Of course, what's her name from League of Her Own who played Kit? She was Tank Girl, but she didn't really do much past that.
Just Tank Girl?
Well, no, not just Tank Girl. I mean, that's the only thing I remember her from. I mean, what do you remember her from?
Point Break.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, she taught Keanu Reeves how to surf.
Yep.
I don't know if she actually did. I don't know if she knows how to surf, but
probably not. She was also in Free Willy.
Oh, that's right. She was in that.
Gosh,
God damn it, she got around.
Oh, Just Free Willy, that's it.
Yeah, Just Free Willy is huge
box office
major success. Yeah.
I've still never seen that movie.
That's weird.
So we're completely on board with her performance in this. I mean, not awkward or anything like that.
No, I thought she was great.
Cool enough. Let's go ahead and move on to. Actually, before we move on to Roy Dotrice, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The director for The Cutting Edge, he didn't do much, but 2 movies of note. He did direct The Air Up There with Kevin Bacon, which I absolutely love, and that might be a stay tuned. But
I remember the title, but not the movie.
The Air Up There, you never saw that?
It
was like a basketball movie. Kevin Bacon, he's got this bad knee, but he goes to Africa to play basketball.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Everybody saw it. Even if you didn't see it, you fucking saw it. Mm-hmm. But he did that and The Running Man. He fucking did The Running Man. This director.
What?
Yeah.
No shit.
So this movie is competently directed. That's for sure. Even with a couple of mistakes that were here and there. And he's got an editing style that's a little bit obnoxious. It's stylistic, that's for sure, for the time. It's this, not slow-mo, but it's a very jumpy kind of...
typical early 90s movie.
There was slow-mo all throughout the fucking movie.
If you have to conceal the fact that nobody knows how to skate in this movie, you do this kind of editing.
Oh, hell yes.
You shoot feet, you shoot close-ups of the face, you do really fucking far-away shots so that you don't see it.
You could see them, with their training wheels, if there were training wheels on the ice skates, you could see them slowly skating across the ice, but everything else... It was always shadowed, or it was only their feet.
You have to
or you could only see from the neck up.
Yeah, you have to really nitpick the shit out of this ice skating to draw attention to it. But they're really not doing anything hard.
Yeah, which the reviewers really did nitpick. Oh well, they were using beginner skates with the toe pick and.
I saw that. Yeah. I'm like. I fucking noticed that. I didn't care about that.
No, but I guess if you're an ice skater and you're going to see an ice skating movie, you're going to be like, no, that wouldn't be right.
But did you see one of the reviews was a professional skater, and she's like, I fucking love this movie.
That's great.
Yeah, I think that's great, and that's indicative of what this movie is.
If you want to just go be entertained, and watch a movie, go see the movie, but don't compare the two. Don't go to see this movie expecting to get pointers on how to skate or how to perform certain moves.
Yeah.
Watch a fucking documentary if that's what you want. Just go and see a movie for the sake of seeing a movie and being entertained.
I was shocked that we did not see the major cameos. Like in the gymnastics movies, you would have Mary Lou Retton come out.
There's cameos in this film.
Yeah, but they weren't. There are cameos.
Tanya Harding's not in it. Nancy Kerrigan's not in it. But I mean, there's cameos in this film.
Well, if there was ever a scene where you wanted somebody's knee taken out with a club,
that was later in the 90s.
Just saying.
I think that's unfair to Tanya Harding. I really do. This is alleged, and it's totally alleged. She wasn't convicted of jack shit.
No, but her boyfriend was.
Fair enough. All I'm saying is maybe boyfriends can get overzealous. Tanya Harding should not have her career, and she's fucking awesome. She was an awesome ice skater, and this was in '94. This movie was made in '92, and this is the heyday of popular figure skating. But Tanya Harding was a very, very good skater. And she earned every single accolade she ever got. And I can't believe that's been overshadowed with that 1994, 1998 Olympics?
I don't know. I didn't watch figure skating until I came into Lisa's
our family.
life. Your Family. I never watched that shit. Never.
Now he's watching musicals and
Okay,
you can't be in this family not watching musicals.
I've always watched musicals.
All right.
But figure skating, that was where I drew the line.
I love figure skating.
I didn't draw the line.
It
It was never put in front of me.
What do you prefer, figure skating or gymnastics?
Oh gosh.
I'm on the side of figure skating.
No, that's a.
I don't give a shit about the drama. God damn, it's almost like they fabricate this drama in figure skating world. But I love watching figure
Tiny
skating.
Harding.
Okay, here. Oh, okay. Now I can give an answer.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're watching like live Olympics, gymnastics is not interesting, but figure skating is. When you're watching a movie about gymnastics, that's where it's interesting.
What was that stupid ass movie? Stick It. Oh God.
That was not stupid.
It was so embarrassing to watch. You ever have those movies where it's embarrassing?
I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
I will rewatch. I don't rewatch movies.
She came home the other night. And I was fucking watching that movie by myself. I wasn't watching it with the girls.
Stick It by
I wasn't
yourself?
watching it with the girls. Lisa came. I don't remember where the hell she went, but she came home, and there I am, and I was like, oh.
Stick It was one of those
I totally felt busted. I totally felt busted when she walked into the room.
Well, yeah, because it's embarrassing. You're like, someone walks in, what are you watching? It's like, I'm watching this fucking teeny bopper gymnastics movie.
It had Beau Bridges.
It was just there to show gymnastics. And I think, you know what, guys? I think that's a good point
It makes it
about
cool.
this movie. This movie, The Cutting Edge, was completely about the story with the figure skating being the backdrop. Okay? Movies like Stick It, all they're doing is showcasing gymnastics. They don't give a fuck about the story.
No.
Are you serious on this movie? This movie was just about. This is just a love story with the figure skating.
I think that this movie really proved, and it was nice to hear the hockey player say to his brother and family, no, you don't understand. This is actually a way harder sport than hockey. It is more physically demanding.
That was a serious dig
hockey.
on hockey.
Yeah.
I can't believe
I don't think
he
it was
said
a serious
that.
dig on hockey. I
got a note about that. We're gonna get to that later.
It's a different muscle set that you're using. It doesn't mean it's any more so or less.
I really want to save that. I really want to save that for later. But yeah, I was like, I can't believe he said that. All right, let's get into. But yeah, Maura Kelly, she did a phenomenal job.
This is the first movie that I haven't recast it in my head. This was, well, I guess I didn't with The Wizard either. This was great casting.
You didn't recast it?
I did not recast it.
That's a good question. Who would play better roles in these films? In The Cutting
Katie
Edge?
Holmes could have pulled it off.
On a reboot?
Yeah.
Okay, a reboot. I was like, I don't think she was old enough at the time.
No.
She's too tall.
Is she too tall?
She is too tall.
Has Katie Holmes ever played bitchy, nasty?
I think that her facial characteristics are unique, and they make up who she is.
As
an actor.
as Bones would say, they're symmetrical, and she's good bone structure.
A polite way of putting it.
No, I like the quirky smile and the fidgeting. I think it's great.
Oh, I always had a crush on her growing up.
She has a crooked face and a large forehead.
You're so
But yes,
weird.
I had a crush on her as well.
Who didn't?
It was that large forehead and crooked face.
Let's go ahead and hit Roy Dotrice.
We're totally saying it wrong.
Yeah, we're saying it wrong.
It's Dotrice.
Yeah, but
it's either that or Dot Rice. I don't know.
He's not Russian.
No, not
and
at all.
he did a great job.
Yeah.
He's done really good movies. I can't think of them off the top of my head, but he's done some good work.
I just liked his firm yet frustrated yet gentle approach to coaching.
He's playing these other actors like a fiddle. Well, not the actors, but the characters.
Characters, yeah.
He's playing the characters like a fiddle.
I did like his firmness. It was
Maura Kelly's character is supposed to be this. She's petite. She's intelligent. She's all this. She is easily manipulatable. Manipulated.
Malleable?
You said malleable, and I don't think you pronounce it that way. I think it's just malleable.
It's malleable.
I don't care enough.
Then you shouldn't have brought it up.
Fine. I concede the point, all right? But, yeah, he's just like, oh, yes, this is what you're doing. And they're like, okay. No, you're not going to tell me what to do. This is like fourth grader reverse psychology, But, yeah, so I think he did a wonderful job. He carried that role. That could have been so much less, and he carried it very well.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. But he's not Russian, and yet he's throwing out Russian words almost as asides, and he's pronouncing them correctly. I studied a little bit of Russian, and he's pronouncing them correctly. I understood what he was saying, and making you believe he's a Russian.
He's British.
Damn, he's good. No, that's cool as hell. And not much more to his character than that, right? I mean, he is a figure skating coach.
Right. He didn't stand out. He didn't stand in the shadows. He was just enough where he was there. He was present. You knew they had a coach, but he wasn't the...
So, I mean, do you ever think that he could take in this role just a little bit further? Maybe like Pat Morita style, like sensei, wax on, wax off type of thing? Or did he just do what was appropriate?
Yes, he could have gotten on the ice with Doug Dorsey and been like, no, you move your hips like this.
Tricked him into being good, kind of like
honestly,
Karate Kid.
I was expecting the Karate Kid or
were you? Okay.
Mr. Miyagi kind of a feel or approach to it. But thankfully, no, they did not do that because it might have been a little awkward with...
Because that would be stupid.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to Terry O'Quinn.
Lost.
Generic, I'm a dad pushing my daughter into something that she may or may not want to do.
Okay, was that really not like thrown into everybody's face in the very? I mean, not.
Well, because
not,
his
not
wife was a figure skater. She
words.
died, and it is.
What's the backstory on that?
It was all about making his wife.
It was
happy.
an unspoken kind of a thing. It was totally unspoken, but yeah, that was the whole feel that I got from it. Was she really didn't want to do this, but she was doing it because.
Which they reinforce when Doug Dorsey's getting a rub down by Coach there, and he says, "You work in a warehouse." But he's like, I have to. And he's like, yeah, same with her. No, he's saying that. So they're reinforcing that idea that it's her job.
Yep, that was lost on me.
So I think Terry O'Quinn's with his horrible mustache.
He's always
I'm so glad we moved past these mustaches, except for Tom Selleck. Everybody else has moved past these mustaches.
Ooh.
That's how you do somebody's makeup when they're like dead in a coffin. It just looked very... very caked on,
a
weird.
movie you may not have seen.
Weird.
He played in, I think it was called The Stepfather. I think it was late 80s, early 90s, something like that, where he was like some psychotic killer kind of a guy.
He was a psychotic killer?
Well,
I'd assume he'd be playing a general about the world about to end.
He had the same mustache. He even had the same mustache when he was in Lost. That mustache has just gone with him everywhere he's
nasty mustache.
Yeah.
The only thing worse than a thin, nasty mustache is a big, bushy mustache. I don't care how well you groom it; it's not going to look good. It's
don't hate just because you can't grow facial hair.
I cannot grow facial hair. I've tried, but it comes out splotchy and weird. All right, so let's move on to... We got Terry Quinn. I guess we can talk about, for a second, the boyfriend?
Do we... I don't think he's...
His face looked familiar. I think I've seen him somewhere.
The only thing I really want to say about this boyfriend, this guy is Dwyer Brown, okay? Hasn't done much, but I mean...
I recognize the name.
Yeah, do you really?
He's been in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't tell you what he's been in, but I know I've seen it.
Yeah, he was a nice boyfriend. This was another case, and we've talked about this before, but on other podcasts, but this is a boyfriend who is doing right by her, is very faithful, is nice, all things considering. She's got all these different partners. He doesn't show any jealousy or anything like that. And when he notices that she's falling for him, he doesn't resent her. He's just stating the fact. He's like,
yeah,
you're falling for him. What do you want me to do? And then they split up. It's like... Okay.
Yeah. That was it.
He had that little bit of banter with D.B. Sweeney when they first met.
The pissing contest,
Yeah, but he was very polite. D.B. Sweeney was the one being an asshole. He was, hi, the secret weapon. I'm going to shake your hand and all that. And D.B. Sweeney was like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, because he was starting to have feelings for her when he, shouldn't be.
Jealous.
And so, he got all jealous.
With a guy like that, at least with that character, that's why I think the actor could have done a little bit more with the character, but maybe he's no threat. It's like maybe he's one of those guys. He's born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's engaged to the boss's daughter, all that shit. But this guy's no threat to him.
Did he get the job because
of course
the daughter?
Of course.
Or did she meet while he was working?
Interesting. Yeah. Backstories are a hell of a lot more interesting than this movie.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
You never want to be in a situation where the backstory of a character could be more interesting than the movie itself. or at least more deep. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love this movie.
I was gonna say, stop talking shit about the movie.
You're getting defensive. Look at this.
I did find myself spending a lot of time wondering about how he got the job. Was he working with Dad before he started seeing the daughter, or vice versa? I spent probably too much time pondering that, but it is what it is.
All right, so I guess we get into the blow by blow here.
Blow by blow. Here we go.
Blow, 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 blow.
Blow by blow.
The blow by blow. I'm going to slow down on
I thought
these
we already
beers.
did.
What, the blow by blow of the movie?
Yeah.
No, we were just talking about the cast and characters. There's only fucking 4 of them, as opposed to Brotherhood of Justice, which
Oh my God,
we went
the
over,
list
what,
just
10 characters or
Yeah.
some shit?
Yeah, that was too much. You gotta pick less popular movies or...
Less popular movies than the Brotherhood of Justice.
Right.
Then we should totally do Usual Suspects. There are not any known actors in that movie.
Oh,
there's
not at all.
No.
All those
Suspects
actors
is
just
next.
up and died after that movie. Okay, so let's get into blow by blow. We credits up, and we're watching a hockey game with a juxtaposition on.
Actually, credits up. He's in bed with some Swedish chick or whatever.
No, we see Doug Dorsey getting his head bashed in right before.
No, he was in bed with Gita. Before
no,
that.
you're right. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Iknamen Gita, which
You had to have looked
Yeah, go
that
ahead,
up
Lisa, I wanna hear
because
this.
there's no way
in
that you remember that.
German means I name Gita, which is still grammatically incorrect.
Oh,
so that sucks.
Iknamen. It's saying my name is. That wasn't her first name, dear.
Gita.
Gita.
Yes. But
Yeah.
you said her name was Iknamen Gita.
No, I said she said. Because he's trying to come up with her name. Good Lord.
So my German background, I took 2 years of German, and the only thing I remember from German is to conjugate to be. Ich bin, du bist, er, sie, es ist, and that is it.
Whoa.
You can't count in German?
1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I only know 3.
11, 12, 13, 14. See, that's about all I got out of my German class. And I took it for 2 years as well.
Yet none of us got the fact that she said my name is Gita incorrectly.
Yeah, she just said, I am Gita.
This is a hilarious bit by.
Or no, I'm sorry, I name Gita.
I named Gita.
Yes.
He's like, I'm glad I only spent the night with you because you're an idiot.
That's how we're going to start signing off. I name Lisa.
I named Lisa. I named Travis.
Wow.
I named Mike. And welcome to I named Flicks and Dicks. So this movie's opens up juxtaposing two different sequences with Doug Dorsey getting his head bashed in during an Olympic competition playing the Germans, right? Mm-hmm. And then Kate Mosley, our character Kate Mosley, she is getting thrown on her ass by they're doing a figure skating competition.
Yeah, but she dug her fucking toe into his shoulder. I'd have dropped the bitch too.
Do you know what? God damn it. There's so much responsibility on the flyer. Yeah, I have a cheerleading background, so I always call him the flyer, right? Okay. So there's so much responsibility on this girl that you're throwing up, that you're lifting up. I gotta tell you, just for fun, I did what's called a stand. You're just standing on the person's shoulders, and it scared the shit out of me. Yet I was always telling, cheerleaders, freshmen, sophomore cheerleaders, I'm like, come on, quit being such a goddamn pussy about this and just go up, But no, that's some scary shit. I'm surprised more, girls don't freak out more often when they're doing stuff like that.
That was great. I was waiting for more.
I got tons of these stories, Mike.
That's great.
Let's just sit here and reminisce about the glory days of dancing and cheerleading. What was I saying?
Never did dance. Was never a cheerleader. That's all I got.
It's interesting. Now you can go around saying you're a cheerleader, and people are like, "Right, yeah, that's no problem." But back in the day, no, you didn't really announce that to people.
No.
I figured you did it so you could look up the chick's skirts.
He was not that guy.
So fucking boring, Mike. Yeah, like the last thing I want to worry about when I'm sitting there, got this girl's life in my hands, is looking up at what? Some girl who hasn't shaved, which is disgusting, by the way. Anyway, yeah. What, did I cross a line there?
Wow. If we had listeners, we could get so much hate mail from this little bit here.
Don't worry about it. We have no listeners.
I like liked how it opened up. You know, it showed them basically failing at both of their,
Okay,
sports.
no, hang on.
Not failing, but this is the end of both of theirs.
He gets the shit beat out of him by, like 3 to 5 guys. They just kept slamming him into the fucking wall.
You ever watched a hockey game? This seemed pretty tame.
No, I've seen some fucking slobber knocker, lockdown just beat the shit out of people on the ice.
Yeah.
Slobber knocker, I like that.
Slobber knocker. I'm using that again.
I've seen some really fucking crazy entertaining hockey games. Now, granted, the majority of them on television. I've only gone to one actual live in-person hockey game. Thank you, Pete, for that. But no, it was amazing. But anyway, he gets the shit knocked out of him.
Did you ever notice
everyone, ref included, everyone just stands there. Even the people in the fucking stands, they just stand there and stare at him.
Which is bullshit, by the way.
They got enough. One person is getting assistance for this poor unconscious motherfucker. They're just standing there staring at him.
Oh, when he gets knocked unconscious, we're all just staring. I was gonna say, have you ever noticed that when you're watching a hockey game, and believe me, I don't follow sports. Okay, I only watched one season of the Avalanche when Patrick Roy was playing goalie, and he was really fun to watch.
Phenomenal.
He was amazing. He was a wall.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So I watched a whole season, one whole season of hockey. And this is the extent of my hockey knowledge. But sometimes they would just sit there. Some dude's about to fight. They take their gloves off. They have enough time to do that.
They give them.
They're squaring off, and then they proceed to punch each other. This is bullshit. Okay, that's why hockey is bullshit. This is a sport, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what? I could get behind Olympic hockey. They don't allow that shit in Olympic hockey. I could totally get behind that.
Yes, they allow a moment or two for
in Olympic hockey. No, they do not, Mike.
In hockey,
a moment or two.
Olympic hockey is not real hockey.
Whoa!
What are we fucking... It's like the only pure... If I had to think about what hockey was, I would be thinking Olympic hockey. These are two people who are supposed to score on each other, get the puck into the other net, and get the other guys try to stop them. That's what the sport should be, right?
Did you see me score on that one over there? That was hot, wasn't it? I scored on that one totally. That was hot.
I really hope you're not talking about my sister.
Well, now that you mention it. Well, hey. No, that wasn't where I was going, but all right, that works too, I suppose. But no, okay, back to the movie.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be the last time.
Moira Kelly dropped on her ass, okay?
Yeah. She has a lot of ass dropping on this movie.
It was nice to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it was nice to watch. But the same deal. Everybody just stood there staring at her as she's laying there in what I would assume to be excruciating pain.
Which is totally cool. It's for dramatic effect, right? It's for the movie. Because if you watch figure skating at all, I mean, those guys fall, boom. And if they are physically able to, they're back up and going. I mean, they're just going.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Because you have music that you have to keep up with. It's not just a...
So
that is an interesting thing, Lisa.
It's not a pride issue. It's just because they're trying to keep up with the music.
They've got to
if you get off on the music, you're fucked.
So
you are fucked.
It has nothing to do with pride. It has everything to do with the fact I've got to keep up with my music.
That is the number one priority over pride.
There's the pride aspect, the show must go on type of stuff. Yeah, definitely. But if you get off on that music, you're completely screwed.
All I could think is, because I have watched some figure skating, with you over the years. All I can think is, because I've seen someone take some pretty bad falls. And, even I'm cringing watching this shit. But all I can think is, what's going through their heads is, oh, fuck. A couple hundred people at most just saw me fall.
I fell in the ice once.
You know what's funny? I'm trying to make a dig. I'm trying to make a dig at figure skating. I'm trying to make a dig at figure skating here, and you guys totally glossed over. You didn't catch it. A couple hundred people were watching me fall. Because that's all the viewers they can get.
That's so not true. That's so
You're
not
right,
true.
Mike. You may want to try a little bit harder next time because, no, we definitely didn't get it at all. Do you know what, though? I've been listening to the other podcast. You made some really funny jokes that we completely glossed over. And I was listening to that, I'm like, oh, he was making a joke and it was really fucking funny. And now we're just moving right along.
The plight of Michael. Yes. Yes.
Mike, we just have to listen to you.
Yes, figure skating does have a much larger following than just a couple hundred people.
Oh, God, yeah. Absolutely.
I'm well aware that it does. It's a very involved sport, I guess. Much more stamina and physical prowess than I have ever had in my life is involved with this shit.
You know, I used to say...
I do have a healthy respect for it.
I used to say that cheerleading was a hell of a lot harder. I mean, this used to be my mantra. I tell everyone, cheerleading is so much harder than wrestling or football, which I did for a weekend or something like that. But yeah, that's exactly it. I wasn't good at wrestling. I wasn't good at football. So... yeah, I guess cheerleading was harder than that because that's my only basis of comparison.
Sitting on a bench it's just not hard work. I'm sorry.
At least I got to tell you, it's emotionally taxing.
Right. Oh, gosh, emotionally.
Because I was on the kick return team in the 7th grade for that week, and yeah, I mean, it was really hard. Dad watched me play once, and he was actually really embarrassed for me. Because I remember asking my dad once, I said, are you ever embarrassed of the fact that I'm a cheerleader? And he's like, it was more embarrassing to watch you play football.
Oh, shit. Notice he didn't say, no, I was not embarrassed by you being a cheerleader. Just it was more so.
Oh, fuck that. I was a damn good cheerleader. All right. So, actually, this movie also opens up with the introduction of the Patrick Williams score here.
Oh, that's right. We are discussing a movie here.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Patrick Williams' score on this is fucking amazing. This music, ba 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 ba. It's got that same poppy tone and beat like a lot of movie scores, John Williams scores as well. E.T., Star Wars, Indiana Jones. It's all got that da 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 da. I mean, it's got that same feel to it. This music is part of the reason why I think this movie works. This is an amazing, amazing score.
Weren't you just watching a video about all the #1 songs having the same 4 chords? I mean, this movie was the same thing.
No, I'm not saying
in that
it is
regard.
standard. It is standard, but oh my god, it gets your heart pumping, doesn't it?
No, but I liked the opening of the movie. I thought that it was great. It introduced all the characters.
It does a good job with that, yeah.
And bam, and then jumps in. We're good.
So Doug Dorsey gets his head bashed in. And he's sitting in, talking to the doctor. For some reason, this doctor looks like Richard Dreyfuss.
Why is he smiling the whole time?
He's grinning the whole time. He's like, this guy's been a real shitheel to me this whole time.
It's like he's holding in a fart or something, but it's just like, yes, you can never see again. You are permanently... You got a blind side.
All right, Lisa, have you ever done any acting before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done some. Mike,
She's been married for like 20 years.
I've been acting like the good wife for a long time.
Of course she does acting.
All right, Lisa, you and I grew up on the stage, right?
Yeah.
We've done some acting. Have you ever had the giggles?
Oh, yeah.
I just imagine this actor had the giggles and he was really trying to keep it in.
Like you with football. I did acting for like a week. And our drama teacher... what the fuck? She should.
Oh, you did that class?
I'm not going to name her name. I know her name.
She should not have been a drama teacher, but she was.
Oh, Major did.
So
she was fine.
You're talking giggling on stage.
Yeah.
When I told her to go fuck herself, I couldn't stop giggling, and that right there, sir, was the end of my stint on stage.
Do you ever notice that you like a teacher when you're actually being good, but when you're a shithead, man,
all of a sudden,
the teacher's such an asshole.
The teacher's got this major problem with me. Yeah, because you're an asshole.
No.
Kids, if you're listening, that's what happens. Okay, get a clue.
That I will give you that. I will give you that. But when a teacher has clearly chosen their favorites, and you can call.
And why are they the favorites, Mike? Why? Why are some kids teachers' favorites?
Well, with this one particular teacher,
not in this one particular. In general, why do teachers have favorites? And yes, they do. Why?
Well, when I was an A student in another teacher's class, and she still chose to ignore me and always went to the little goody goody.
We had this conversation.
Just because I had big ass, massive lamb chops, a jeweled battle axe hanging from my ear, and a braided goatee, I didn't fit her mold.
Mike, teachers have always overlooked shit like that. They favor the students who show up, show interest, and get good grades. Okay,
I got good grades. I showed up and I showed interest.
Yeah, you got good grades, but you were argumentative. You participated.
You're a little combative, which works in this situation, Mike.
With some teachers, I was argumentative. Not with all.
What the fuck were we talking about?
We were talking about the doctor and why the doctor looks like Richard Dreyfuss.
Okay, so here's
why would you get someone who so clearly looks like Richard Dreyfuss?
Don't ask me questions and then blow me off.
I had to question, was his mustache cut in a smile position, and that's what made it look like So I'm just looking at him going, maybe they shaved it a little upturned.
Jesus, Lisa, I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, why is he smiling? Is it his mustache?
Not to beat a dead horse here, but I'm going to make one more comment on a certain drama teacher.
Oh my gosh, what?
Her favorites were the students that went to her home over the weekend and after school hours, and they were smoking weed and watching dumbass movies.
Are you talking about the sheepdog?
No.
Can't say her name. She's a sheepdog. That's generic.
No, not Shep. No,
Yeah,
she was
but
awesome.
that was the same thing.
She was awesome.
Yeah, I know her. I know who you're talking about.
Her, yes. The kids from her theater
Did
group.
everyone from that school just go to the teachers' houses? This is not okay.
Thank you.
This is so not okay.
Thank you.
You haven't mentioned what high school we went to, right?
No.
That's all
Okay,
right.
good.
We don't need to. We don't need to. But thank you for pointing that out. It really was
I had a
true
teacher
thing.
recognize me because he questioned it because he had gone to a
Because
strip
we were at
club.
the titty bar.
Yeah, he had gone to a strip club and he's like, you
damn
look
it.
familiar from there. I'm like, oh my God, no. Yeah.
And you know what? I've
Just
mentioned
because your
this
sister
before.
did some amateur dancing does not mean...
Edit that.
It's all bullshit. We all know that. But no, this is so weird. I mentioned this before. I've been to 5 different high schools. Yet we didn't hang out with any teachers except for this one
At
school.
this school,
Yes.
they did.
That's
Yeah.
so weird.
And I had a teacher that clearly had the flask in the drawer. I mean, there was a lot of weirdness going on at that school.
I went to 3 different high schools, and I had at least one teacher from each of those high schools that, yes, they did not hide it. They kept their flask with them at all times.
So this doctor is saying he
Yes,
opens
sorry,
up the
moving.
conversation. He opens up the conversation. Is like, Doug, you got a blind side. Blah 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 blah. But before he says anything, he says, "For the record, you have this damage." I'm like, "For the record."
For the record.
As opposed to what? What? Are we in court? Why are you saying "for the record"? We're just having a conversation, you asshole. So Doug's like, "Okay, well, you're not going to do this operation, but I mean, some guy in Mexico, he'll do this operation." He's like, "Look, it's not going to happen.
Okay,
I don't
honestly-
see professional. So
What's that?
your dreams are sunk."
Well, I was going to say, what's that phrase
God.
that people say? And he just said it. Honestly, are you normally lying to
Yeah.
us? You
Me?
just
Yes.
To be honest, why do
To be
people say
honest.
"to be honest"?
Because normally I lie out of my ass.
No, this guy at work.
No, I don't know.
This guy I work with, he always says that. Well, to be honest, and I always yell, as opposed to what? As lying? Why are you lying to them usually?
It's like a catchphrase kind of thing. It's like Lisa with
That's funny.
always saying
That's nice.
That's funny. That's nice. Or one of my favorites is the biggest problem I had with this movie was. And she'll
recognized
tell you
it from the
she'll
wizard,
tell you
and I
it's
stopped
my
it.
biggest problem. She's got like 12 biggest problems of something or 50 biggest problems of another thing.
If you knew the way that my brain worked, I don't even remember saying something before that. So to
No
me,
one
that was
knows
the
how your
biggest
brain
problem of the
works.
moment.
What do I feel
just
like?
love you.
What do I feel like the therapist? And you guys are sitting on like some kind of counselor's couch or something like that.
That'd be weird.
I'm getting this vibe right now.
Is this like a sex therapy kind of thing?
No, Mike, it's not.
Presided over
This is
by,
a movie
By
podcast.
some creepy mustache dude.
Who's just grinning for whatever reason.
You did have that with your 80s Halloween party a few years back. That creepy porn stash that you were rocking. you could totally play the part of
Do you know,
the
I've got
doctor.
pictures of that. I'm like, why did I do that?
You could totally play the part of the doctor with that creepy porn
Ugh,
stash.
yeah. So
right.
Doug Dorsey's getting his bad news. Okay.
I thought he did that. I thought he did it very, very well. It might have sounded outlandish or even stupid. Yes, you're going to throw. It might sound stupid, but you're still going to throw out that randomness. We could totally go this route.
There's the stages, denial, acceptance, anger, all that shit when you get some bad news.
The only horribly awkward part of this movie was the doctor. I could have definitely done without. It was so bad.
Why does he look like Richard Dreyfuss and why is he smiling?
It's like crap. Ron Howard with his brother.
Ron Howard's brother. Oh, is he that
Yeah.
creepy ass looking look? Oh,
Yeah.
He was in Apollo
He's like,
13.
dude's like Richard Dreyfuss's creepy brother that couldn't get what's going on.
Totally, got him his job.
Yes, that's all I could think of. I'm like, whoa.
No, I liked how he showed they showed different points of his dedication. So we're moving ahead. Look at us. We're moving ahead in the movie. So so he shows let's do this. And then when he's submitting all of his letters and everything, he's on to his 23rd 24th letter.
That was a nice moment between him and his brother.
Yeah, and he's still going out to the ice and practicing because he still feels like I am a damn good hockey
Guys
player
who
and
get to
somebody's going
that
to pick me up.
point in their careers, they are that driven. They are that motivated.
Way more endeared to his character, to Dorsey's character in the movie, than anyone else.
Really?
Really.
And you didn't sympathize with Kate Mosley at all, or?
No, because I don't like snotty bitches. And she played it very, very well. She really
I completely agree, but every time she smiled, I was like, oh,
You melted.
look, there you
melted.
are.
All I could think was, there's a demon behind that smile.
She wants to kill me.
She's going to rip your fucking throat out. That's all I can think of.
She's only smiling to get close enough to the strike.
Hell yeah.
But, so this is where we transition from this as well to Kate Mosley's character.
Get on with your review.
We've got... We've got the father, we've got the coach, and they're assessing the situation. She can't work with anyone. She hates everybody, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the coach is like, we've gone through everybody. We're at the bottom of the barrel. And the father says, find a new barrel. Boom! All right?
Oh, he did say that,
He did say that. This was all his idea. So the coach is like, all right, you giving me leeway here? Fine, I'm going to go find a hockey player.
I don't think he sought out a hockey player necessarily so much as it was just trying to find someone to
He said
work
find a
with
different
this
barrel.
evil bitch.
A different barrel is, hey, who can skate?
It's because
hockey players can skate.
everybody in the skating world knew of her, and I don't think that anybody would have been willing to or was willing to work with her.
I can't think of any real world scenario. I mean, usually with these sports movies, they're basing off of something, and especially with the popularity of figure skating at the time, Nancy Kerrigan and Tonya Harding, they've got some kind of source material to draw upon. But I can't think of hockey players that moved over to figure skating or vice versa or anything like that.
No,
because remember,
I just don't understand why she didn't go and do singles competitions.
Well, I think it's an entirely different sport. Singles versus pairing. I think they're completely different animals. You've spent your whole life being a pairs figure skater.
But you saw how fast she could spin. Like, surely she could do a sit spin. You can do all that. I don't know why her career was over. Her pairs career was over, but I don't think that it was the end.
Do you have enough time at that time in your life to... Because you got a shelf life, right? Athletes have a shelf life.
Yeah.
It's like, how many more years do you have, and do you start over in a new division?
You graduated, and I no longer went from dancing in pairs to, I then did solos, and it was fine.
Some people are more adaptable, and we're also not at a professional level.
It looked really silly when I tried to lift myself in the air.
Wow, that would have been really funny.
I tried to do my own bounce spin, and I just went terribly. So here we go. We got the recruitment scene. The coach goes over to find where Doug's working at, which is the penalty box, where his brother's bar, and it's a dive bar, a place I'd love to go.
I would love it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks like a good
yeah.
fun place to go. These are the type of places I seek out when I travel. I travel for work. These are the types of places I go look for, and so Doug thinks it's a joke. He thinks he's a reporter. He thinks that his brother's setting him up for a joke or whatever, and he says, "Why don't you try figure skating?" Which he accepts.
I would have loved to see that conversation in between it's figure skating to the limo ride.
He's like
what did he say to finally convince him? Because that was,
what did he say to get him in the car?
I don't think that it would have taken much. I mean, you're looking at somebody whose love was the ice. And it is mentioned a little bit later.
That's a good point. That's a real good point, Mike. Yeah.
Where he smelled the ice. The smell of the ice.
He didn't realize that the dude had a camera, but he took a picture of him smelling the ice.
So he has fun with whatever he does.
It's not just having fun with whatever he does. He has whatever, a love or a passion for the ice.
That's where he's at ease. That's where he can glide. That's where he can do stuff.
I guess that the final push for him to actually get in the car, because he knew the price of the offer for going to audition with her, because he said, I should have asked for more when he saw the house. So it must have been money that he offered up. That's what got him into the car.
So you're saying it was left on the cutting room floor? It was an edited scene?
I think it had to have been. We're
in
going to
some of those cases, I think that's completely okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to have the whole fucking thing
Did
explained.
you try to
me,
peek
you
at
know?
the check when the dad offered him?
Tons of times. I'm like, how much is
How
in
much?
there?
Yeah,
I
what
paused
is the
it.
price
I paused it, but I didn't rent it in HD.
I'm
so I
thinking
couldn't make
all
out the
travel
numbers.
expenses are paid, of course. I mean, he's got a first class. He's got a first class
Yeah,
ticket.
you bought him a first class ticket.
Which is, you know what? I travel for work. That'd be pretty fucking awesome. Anyway, so his all travel expenses. I'm thinking $7,000 to come and audition.
I don't think it had anything to do with the money. I think he just he needed some excuse, some reason to be able to professionally get back on the ice.
He's got nothing else. He's working for his brother.
Yeah,
He's got
working for
nothing
his brother.
else.
He's
hammering nails on his brother's addition on his bar. I mean, it's like, what else are you doing?
He was doing backyard, lake hockey, whatever. He was doing
Pond
whatever,
hockey, yeah.
pond hockey. He was doing whatever he could to get back onto the ice. So, money aside, whether that was left on the editing room floor, I don't know. But in my mind, it was just his love of the ice that brought him back to the ice. He just
definitely
wanted some reason to be able to professionally get back on.
And dare I say it, maybe he's got nothing better to do.
Well, he
clearly he had nothing better to do.
did not want to work at the bar.
No, he's not.
So-
he says, I'm no bartender. And his
He
brother's
basically
like,
told-
this is bullshit.
He basically told his poor brother,
Oh,
who
God.
really needed a hand, he basically told him to go fuck himself because it wasn't
He
hockey.
left him in the lurch. Yeah.
Fucker.
Yeah, kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
But you
like,
still like him. It's cool.
but he was taking a task. His brother's like, what makes you so goddamn special? Which is,
Okay, how many family businesses are there where they're like, oh, I'm passing this on to my sons, and the son, you've got one that's like, this is not what I want to do with my life.
and in my industry, I see it all the
I want
fucking
to
time.
sing
Yeah.
and dance. He wants to be a pirate.
You can continue the song. I'd love to hear it.
So they get him on the ice, right? And this is the tryout. And of course, Kate, what's her goddamn name?
Mosley.
Her name is Kate
Mosley.
Mosley, but what's the actor?
Moira Kelly.
Moira Kelly. Yeah, she's looking at DB Sweeney and she's like, yeah, this is not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen at all. So the coach is watching. I think the coach didn't really give a shit about watching them skate together. I think the coach is watching them interact. He's like, is he gonna be able to challenge her? Is she gonna be able to challenge him? And what's this gonna bring fruit? Is this gonna bear fruit at all?
I think they went for the hockey player because they needed somebody with the mental, emotional, intestinal fortitude to be able to put up with this snotty bitch.
A coach, yeah, definitely that. But the coach is like, I'm not worried about him being able to skate. He can skate. I'm not even close to worrying about that. He sticks on figure skates. It's not going to be a thing. I really don't think a toe pick's also going to be a thing.
I was going to say, is a toe pick... I know really nothing about skating, but is a toe pick...
Any
really
given
that big of
hockey
a deal?
player would be able to stick on figure skates and get
The
it.
hockey skates are thicker than than figure skating.
Oh yeah,
guess-
they're like
Yeah.
3 times. They're like 3 times.
If you
as thick.
skate, you skate. You're gonna pick it up. It's not a big deal. I ride my bike all the time, and I transitioned from a fixed gear to a mountain bike to a road bike.
When
Look,
we could go from the 4-wheel roller skates we grew up on to inline skates.
yeah, inline skates, no
It's
problem.
doable.
Yeah.
Was I the only one that thought that the whole toe pick was overdone? I was waiting
because
for
it became
that
the
to
classic
end.
line. Like I can say that today, and people
Toe pick.
know.
I was
You trip on
waiting for that to
something,
be
and you're
done.
like, toe pick.
Oh my god! Now that makes sense.
Did that not make the
That just
Where
now
the fuck
makes
did you think
sense.
that?
I had no clue.
Mike, can you
Mike's
hear
got a
that?
stretch. He crawled out from under his rock, so that's cool.
I had no. That's what you were referencing all the time.
Yes!
Oh my god!
Toe
Wow.
pick. Where the fuck else would that come from? That is like,
When I
I saw
splayed
this
myself
movie-
out in high school, walking towards you, I'm wearing a skirt, splat on the ice, and all I could think was,
toe pick. So I don't really get the final option that Doug is presented with here. So the coach tells him that hockey coaches are not interested in him anymore. Okay, so he has to do figure skating. So how does that translate? It's like saying I can't downhill slalom anymore, so I'm going to go do cross country skiing. These sports do not translate at all.
it does translate when you've become physically impaired. Like
Shouldn't you
if you're
still-
having trouble walking, here's this desk job. But I'm used to jumping
Okay.
out of
Walking,
helicopters.
running,
but now
running, jumping, going
You
to
get
a
a desk.
desk job is one thing. But thank you for bringing this up because I did have a problem with this as well.
a major problem.
It was one of my biggest problems. Oh, no, sorry, it wasn't one of. It was my biggest problem. I'm going to try and work that in here.
Wait, I don't mean to interrupt you,
Sometimes.
but did this movie not do anything for you?
I
I want to
enjoyed
make
it.
sure we get this out here.
No, I enjoyed it.
Like
I watched it.
Did you get pumped watching it?
No.
I mean, Do you know how like salesmen, they'll go out and they'll listen to like right before a big pitch, they'll listen to their favorite song or something like that, and they'll get pumped, right? I watch movies like this to get pumped, to go do something.
Okay, this movie did not get me
Really?
pumped. Really?
Oh, I watch Rudy. I watch sales professionals, watch sales managers make their salesmen watch movies like Rudy to get them psyched, to get them amped.
Rudy, I've seen that movie I don't know how many times, but I still cry every time I watch that movie.
That's because you're a human being.
Okay.
If you don't cry during Rudy, you're a fucking animal. You're a soulless bastard. Okay.
So for any of you out there that didn't happen to like that movie,
I'm looking at you, Rob.
You're a worthless fucking human being.
Real men don't cry.
Oh, dude, seriously, I've cried during commercials. I cry watching episodes of Cops. This isn't the first time I've mentioned this on the podcast.
Really? Cops?
Yeah, he cries over Cops.
I cried a Hallmark commercial, but I've never cried an episode of Cops.
I am guaranteed any sports movie I watch.
Oh, any sports movie.
The sports movies get me more than the love story movies.
I have to explain this. All right, I don't cry watching Cops because I was just so emotionally it was a sad story or whatever. When somebody does something like good, like you watch them chase down somebody that is like a piece of shit, and you watch them chase them down and get them, I get emotional. And instead of like jumping up and like punching a wall.
For our podcaster viewers out there, what you see, what you don't see, is an absolutely dumbfounded, wide-eyed, jaw-dropping moment where I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I can accept that. I am comfortable with myself.
That's got to be a first for me in my entire life. Which you completely explained. It was a lucid explanation of what you're experiencing, but wow, I have absolutely no basis of relation.
It's for the same. Sure, you do. It's for the same reason why watching a sports movie, not like cutting edge, because there wasn't going for that winning touchdown or
so
whatever.
Would the cop be the underdog?
Yes.
The cop is the underdog. The guy with the gun.
He's the guy who's trying to go home to see his wife and children.
You have so much more of a sympathy for cops than I do. That's for sure.
I have a sympathy for people in general. I'm not a heartless
cops are
son
people
of a bitch.
too, right?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Wow, you laugh like they're not.
I'm not saying shit. Like, I'm not saying shit about shit.
Heartless son of a bitch right here.
So this, So moving right along, Lisa mentioned the toe pick. So we've got this toe pick scene, which shows him falling all over himself.
So toe pick. That's really not that big of an issue.
No, of course not.
Well, don't say of course. I don't know this shit.
Oh, all right. I don't see it. And you know what? Like I said, I'm not a figure skater. I never was a figure skater. I was never a hockey player. I did do inline skates, okay? And I know there's not that much for translation, but
the toe pick is a very important piece of the ice skate.
Big time.
Huge.
So much so that it can throw you off your game as much as it did.
If you are
so Doug's falling all over the fucking place because of the toe pick?
No.
Bullshit.
If you are heading
He's a professional
due
skater.
east and you need to whip it around and head due west, how the hell do you think you're going to do that? You got to put that toe pick down, swivel, pivot, zoom, back the other direction.
That's not how toe picks work in figure skating.
It is.
No, you get to a glide stop.
Travis, your wife is arguing with you over there.
My wife always argues with me.
Y'all remember the days of the original roller skates with the big bumper on the... What happened if you jam that thing?
You ate shit hard.
Yeah, but everyone knew how to use them.
I didn't.
That's a toe pick.
A hockey player doesn't.
Ooh, that's a good comparison because, yes, for my very first time
on figure
skates
skaters use toe picks in that way. They don't use...
I'm going to get up and get in the position here where you're like this and you're spinning around.
They don't use that to stop. No, ice skaters use the toe pick to stop.
They use it for many different things. It's a very important part of figure skating. You need to pull up a figure skating video.
Guys, remember during the craze of inline skates, right? Okay? You had the people that were just starting out and they had the brake on the back,
Yeah,
right?
I remember you going down a hill and eating shit.
Okay. But the guys who really...
toe pick would have come in handy.
The guys who knew what they were doing, and that was when I was first starting skating, so fuck you on that. But after I got to know, I never needed a break. Okay? Figure skaters in general, professional skaters do not need breaks to stop, okay?
A toe pick is a break.
No, it's not a break. That's what I've been saying. It's not a break.
Okay,
But
I was
if you
simply
don't know
asking.
how to use it correctly, it becomes a break.
So
I will concede that.
A hockey player not knowing how
Can
to
you
use
can
it.
you picture it as a what's that tool that you draw with a pencil?
It's a
with?
compass.
Compass. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so use the toe
Protractor.
pick as
Protractor.
yeah, it's a protractor.
It's
Damn
not a
it.
protractor, it's a compass.
It's a compass.
The one that you
Sweetheart.
stick in?
Yeah, the one you
That's
stick
a
in, that's a
compass.
compass.
The
A protractor is that
protractor is-
little semicircular thing.
Yeah, you lay flat.
Okay.
I knew something.
Is
Yo!
important
About time.
is
This is a rare moment, folks, so we're kind of savoring the moment. Anyway. All right,
No,
so
seriously, okay, I'm still stuck on this. It seems to be, well, not really torn because it's 2 against 1 because I'm still standing here, I don't know. The toe pick, could that really have caused
could it hinder
big of a problem?
a borderline semi-pro or professional skater? No, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
He's a hockey player.
wait. I've got answers.
She's got answers from the internet.
Hockey skates don't have toe picks.
No.
No, I get that, and everybody knows that. Like, that's totally not in dispute. The thing that is in dispute is, would that hamper someone who knows how to fucking skate?
Yes.
Okay.
Lisa's got the answers.
Toe picks are primarily for jumps. The toe picks are the last part of the blade to leave the ice and take off the first thing touching down and landing.
Sure.
It's also used for pivoting and pirouettes. All right, but
Sure.
it is not your brakes. Toe picks
Yeah.
can be used to stop, but are not absolutely necessary.
Or ever used by anyone who knows how to ice skate.
Okay, so toe picks are important.
Okay, I get that. I'm
In
sure
the
they
dynamics
wouldn't-
of dancing,
I'm
but they're
sure
not
that they wouldn't
necessary
be
to
on the
stop.
skate if they weren't
Well,
important.
when you go to land, they provide the pivot point to use when controlling the impact and position. Thank you, Yahoo Answers.
I'm sure that
He's not doing flips or
I'm
twists.
sure that the toe pick is necessary because I can't imagine them, being on the fucking skate if it wasn't, an important part of it. I get that. I was just stuck on, would it really cause that big of an issue for someone?
I say
Yes.
no.
Okay.
I've done it.
All right.
Really, the toe pick? I've been ice skating twice,
Yes.
and the toe pick never got in the way.
Have you gone from
Because
hockey skates
you
to
weren't
I went
going
from
that
inline
fast.
skates to figure skates, okay? And I really tried to be a figure skater on inline skates. I would practice that way because that's the
Did you do
direction we were
pirouettes
going.
and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really tried. I did
Yeah.
all the jumps.
I was
did all
a
that.
pro on skates.
Yeah,
Pro.
absolutely.
God damn,
yeah.
I could do everything.
And you never once used that little rubber thing in the front, did you?
The only time
Yeah.
I saw those little rubber things on the
Deterrent.
front was at the skating
Really?
rink.
Yeah.
Oh.
The only time I ever saw those little stops on skates was at the skating rink. That was the only time I ever saw them on
Yeah,
skates.
in the skating rink. Yeah, because they were handing out to everybody.
Anybody that did it like all the time,
They take that up,
They
yeah.
didn't. They
I
took it on,
actually,
they didn't come
I
with it.
thought that in life I was going to be a roller derby girl.
Seriously, I did not know that. Oh my god,
Really?
we're like
I knew that.
learning
Yeah.
all sorts of shit about each other. That's hilarious. I didn't know you wanted to be a roller
Oh,
derby
hell,
girl.
can't you picture it?
Oh, I can picture it. Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, so
It's
yeah,
only taken us an hour and a half to
I
get 10
know
minutes into the
totally.
movie.
We got the toe pick montage, which is just hilarious, and then we've got this. They're getting used to each other, right? Mm-hmm. And so the ice is getting zambonied, and so I don't think there's really any glory in this next scene, where he's like, "Blow it! I love to see you. Love to see you skate."
You don't think there's any glory in that scene?
No, because he's a professional hockey player.
She's
I
a
saw it.
professional ice skater, so
Yeah,
it was
so
okay.
She
I'm
was
gonna.
trying to say that I could, whatever, you're a hockey player. I'm a professional figure skater. I could easily.
They're
do
showing
what you
him
do.
score all these goals. Okay, great.
I saw it.
Oh,
as
I'm so
horribly
impressed with this
contrived. I saw it as horribly
semi-pro
contrived and not
beating this
necessary.
figure skater on a game of hockey.
No, it was comparing her profession to his profession.
I get that.
Where she
I
was
totally
laughing
get
at him
that.
going, oh, you suck, you suck, you suck. And he's like, you know what? Let's do this.
Yeah, but why is she getting frustrated about it?
Because she got frustrated with everything.
Because she has to be perfect. It is her personality.
It's a build up to her to her slap shot to his face.
Yeah. Which I love the slow motion.
I think that whole scene would have been much better if it would have been, her saying, "Hey, we should do this," as opposed to him saying, "Oh, really? You think you can do this? Well, let's see."
I liked the scene just the way it was.
This
I liked it. It just could have been presented better.
this builds up to what I call the crassness of. I can't believe you had the guts to run these many montages in sequence. These are 3 different montages. Okay, now it's the 90s and we're doing montages all over the place. However, We've got one montage, a break of dialogue, not even a dialogue. She throws her face in some food, and then it jumps right into another montage. And then right after that, he walks up and he's got some ice packs on his hips, jumps right into another montage. And this is where showing that he's getting better at skating and all this shit. 3 montages. I don't think I can think of another movie that does that. 3 montages in a row.
I was fine with it because I really didn't want the drawn out progression of it has taken us a long time to get to this point. I think it was appropriate.
I'm okay with that. I just think they could have done the approach for that scene better. That was it. That was all I was trying to say.
So we're going to do it in a montage.
Hey, this is coming from the girl who wants music montage at my funeral. Like, I want the,
I have
do.
the playlist.
And I will always love you.
I'd like to be you for a day.
Oh, is that your funeral?
No, that's not my. That's
what
not
is your funeral montage?
Do not throw Whitney Houston onto your montage.
No. I've got. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Lulu and the Lampshades.
Oh damn.
I have a song from Wicked, and the final one is Angel Lullaby. Oh wow, crap! But I also have one more song in there.
Who's cutting this?
You are.
What? That's making the assumption you're going before me.
Well,
No, you have to cut it like now.
Have you seen me? I'm
I've gotta cut it now.
freaking wreck.
Now.
You are totally living longer than I am.
You ever notice that? Like, there's some people who are just used to, like, all sorts of physical ailments, and I can't really relate to that because I don't get them too often, So, yeah, god damn it.
There's always something going on with this family.
So, I think the movie does a good job of threading the theme of the love of a sport.
Minus the montages.
I don't really mind them. I didn't say I minded the montage. I'm like, these are 3 montages, one right after another. I've never seen that in another movie before. It's kind of crass. It's kind of nuts, actually. But I think it does a good job of threading the theme of a love of a sport and how that might be lost in a professional and semi-pro athletes. When you do what you love as a living, do you love it anymore? And I think it does a really good job of really tying that into the entire movie. The theme of the entire movie is doing what you love as a profession.
The only character that I got from this that actually loved what they were doing was Doug Dorsey.
Is he really doing that as a living, though?
What, ice?
Yeah. Is he really doing hockey or figure skating as a living? Or is this just something that's like, I got no place else to go?
If it was so much a living as it was just a passion, a love for, love of.
Everyone's got to make a living, right? And what was he doing at his brother's place? He's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone's got to work. So this is how he's getting paid. He's got no place else to go. Why else would you pursue that? You've got to make a living at it somehow.
I'm assuming you get money.
You can't play
skating.
backyard hockey and make money at it because you're going to have a job. He works in the factory.
No, it was
right.
It was
it's like
his
us doing these
love
podcasts.
Of the ice.
I mean, it's
exactly.
Exactly. Low blow, Lise. Low blow.
Right on the head there. That was perfect. No, it was his love of the ice that kept him going. But as far as the characters go, I think that his character was the only one that showed a love for what he was doing. She just did nothing but bitch incessantly.
But I think it was a commentary on that. This whole movie, I think, was a commentary on that. Was anytime that you, and this, people have said this before, anytime you start to do what you love as a profession, you lose it. And we probably see that with professional athletes all the time.
She commented on it. She commented on it once and only once. You've always wanted.
This is what you've always. This is what you've always worked for, or
whatever. And she goes, "Really, always?"
Yeah.
And then she turned and walked away. So clearly, that right there showed no. This is not what she wanted for her life.
Are we supposed to sympathize with her? Hey, how is she pulling her weight in the family business? That is her pulling her weight in the family business.
Doing what Daddy said.
I'm sure there's endorsements, sponsors, and all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you need to do something. You can't just coast on the family money. At least I hope not. Then you're Paris Hilton.
I was gonna say then clearly we're not discussing real life because in real life that's how shit rolls. Paris Hilton.
Yeah, totally Paris Hilton.
I'm sorry, but Paris Hilton works hard.
Do you know what? I'm going to go ahead and entertain this, okay? I will entertain this.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so
hit it.
I think that the schedules that they have to keep, going for appearances, all these signings, all these TV promo things. That's like saying an actor doesn't have a real job.
You're on set, and you are expected to perform like that.
You don't think that when you are in the public eye as a rich, the life of the rich and famous person.
That's not.
She's not worried about her image.
Oh
no, she's not.
She's totally. She doesn't give a fuck about her.
No, she taught some class on how to properly get in and out of a car without flashing your hoo-ha because it was important.
Shut up. She did not.
Because that right there is a necessary bit. Oh my God.
Shut the fuck up. And you know what?
Wow.
It's a problem, isn't it?
And
it's a total problem.
Every time I go to get out of the car and I'm wearing a skirt, I think about that moment going, close your damn legs, Lisa, close your legs.
The only ones I'm thinking of are Lindsay Lohan. Who else had a problem with that?
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid? Oh, God damn it, that's
Hermione.
right.
Hermione, what's her face?
What's,
No, the chick who played Hermione in the Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, Emma
Watson.
Emma Watson.
Emma Watson.
What happened to her?
Sorry, I hate the fact that I know shit like this. She goes to get out of the car and she's not wearing underwear. And she steps one leg out and bam, there's, her in all her birthday suit glory.
So don't tell me that people who are in the spotlight.
Oops, I did it again, girl. What's her name?
Who?
Britney Spears. She that happened to her too.
Yeah.
So maybe you do need a clinic on this shit.
I call bullshit because
I would put money. Out of a car.
I do not bet money on anything because more often than not, if there's money on the line, I'm going to lose just for the sake of losing money. But I don't think that with all of them it was accidental. If you're
I don't think so either. I think it's strategic.
If you're Paris Hilton, you have no talent. You have no talent whatsoever. The fact that this chick is still alive is freaking mind-boggling.
Okay, I cannot handle people saying that people who have all the money, who are out there doing all these public appearances, that they don't have to work at all. Their schedules are busier than ours. Bottom line. Bottom line.
I'm with you, Lisa. I see where you're going with it.
I want to be with you.
Have a hard time controlling my mouth, and it gets me in trouble so much, and these people have to be poised because they are on
Paris Hilton
all the time.
Poised?
She is poised.
But there's not much in the way of consequences for these type of people.
Public shaming?
She had a sex tape, Lisa. She had a sex tape, and she didn't skip a beat. Paris Hilton had a sex tape.
Do you know how many average house moms have a sex tape?
It didn't ruin her career. Whatever career that is, I have no idea.
No one gives a shit about our day-to-day like they do someone who's rolling in cash.
She has a perfume line. She has.
That sucks.
I gotta give.
That sucks.
She is the figurehead for these types of products, and they're generating revenue and they're contributing to society.
Thank you. Okay.
The fact that you can take
same thing.
I have to take a shower after saying that.
It's the same thing with the Kardashians. And everybody says that they don't work. They work. They all own businesses.
Being famous for being famous. That's all there is to that.
Paris Hilton, Kardashians, they're famous for being fucking famous.
So as far as Kate goes, our ice skating yes. They are financially well off. Her job is to figure skate. Her job is to act like
she loves it.
Yeah, and because she's representing.
She's representing a brand.
Yeah,
she's representing the family brand. She's got to be.
Yes.
Yeah. So we get to the point of the movie where it's Christmas time. They're getting ready to go home for Christmas. They're going to have a break. So they exchange gifts. And they proceed to exchange gifts, the worst gifts to each other that they could have ever thought of.
He said that he does read, so she bought him a book.
Doug can read.
And it's great
I love
expectations.
That line. You know what's funny? I quote that all the time. I mean, every time someone talks about did you know how to read? I'm like, yes, Doug can read. And really nobody knows what I'm talking about.
For fuck's sake, this is up there with Topic. God bless it. Now it's coming together.
Yes, Doug can read. I love that line. So she comes in. He gives her an incredibly sentimental gift. He's had this shirt from who's the player?
It was a signed hockey jersey.
Damn it! I forgot. Anyway, it's an incredibly sentimental gift from a professional hockey player that he's had for 15 fucking years, and decides to give it to his coworker. What?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's nice.
And a shirt that
because he says, "What do you give somebody who already has everything?"
Yeah,
and I run into this a million times. You know, I'm good friends with doctors and everything, and I think, what the hell am I going to get somebody who clearly has got plenty?
So you give him your prized possession. It's a prized possession as far as.
No, I normally just give them wine.
Would you really? Would you really hand me over to a doctor? Really?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Being your prized possession.
So he says. So she's like, "You're giving me an old shirt," and he's like, "No, this guy signed this shirt," and she's like, "No, and she starts to feel bad, and she's like, "You're giving me this crap gift, but I need to accept it."
No, I want it.
No, I want it. So they start fighting over it, and then she gives him the book. I'm so confused about this, and I really want to.
Why are you confused about it? She's got expectations of him. She said that it was fitting.
Lisa, the book is so much more than just the title, Great Expectations.
I know that.
Have you read the book?
Yeah.
I think. She's like, no, I haven't.
Okay, look, the book.
But DiCaprio was fantastic in this book.
No, I really. That's the funny thing. I've never seen the movie. I only read the book. Doug can read. This book, Great Expectations, and I really want to see what the thread here is. Why this directorial decision on this book? Because it had to have been purposeful. You don't put things like this in movies.
Okay, you do, but only if you're looking at the title. Great Expectations. That's the only reason why she gave him the book for this movie.
The book is about this person of very, very meager beginnings.
Meager is putting it very nicely.
Yeah, this is Dickensian. This is Dickensian poor type of shit. You're fucking miserable.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So
he faked it. He made it. He died. That's it.
Well, no, he doesn't die.
No, she did though.
Anyway, so going through like miserable times, but this guy is being groomed and has a benefactor that he thinks is one person and is not. Turns out to be his suck ass dad. Or spoiler alert, turns out to be his suck ass dad. However, that's the whole point. And the character in Great Expectations sucks. He's just like feels like he's entitled. And
maybe it
the
was
person who thinks he's his benefactor. She's trying to groom him into something, but she's not even contributing to him. I don't know what this has to do with the movie.
Because Pip in Great Expectations, his older sister was bossy and pushy and wanted him to be greater. So I think that maybe that's the connection.
I think you guys are reading way too much into it. I think it was just simply
it's a very specific book.
I think the book, yes, but I think it was the title and the title alone.
That title has nothing to do with that story.
Great Expectations. She had great expectations of him. That was it.
The benefactor, which turns out to be his father, has great expectations of him. That's it.
She had great expectations of him. That is it.
She did not. She didn't even think he would last a week.
But now she does.
I think it's weak at best.
I thought it was just a play on him being a Neanderthal and trying to read something. You know, it would have been just as
But she did make the point, Curious George plays hockey.
Is this a situation where women are just trying to... This is like the classic, especially at that age, you take on this man just to better him.
Yes.
You marry this guy just to better him.
Why in the hell do you think she said yes to me?
Why the hell did I get married? Yeah.
Why did Mike go from having long hair to now he's total short hair, clean cut boy wearing rugby clothes?
This is a woman thing, and I think it's real.
Yeah,
it's real.
It's most definitely real.
Andrew and I had this conversation. I'm like, did you marry me with the expectation that you were going to mold me? And she's like, at the time, there was a little bit of that. I'm like, what is with you guys? That's a crazy thing to do.
For every time I purchased my clothes, I would throw away the denim shirt, the jorts, the corduroy pants.
You mean the corduroy pants and the denim shirt that I still have hanging up in my closet right now?
Those are different. Those are new ones that came in, and I don't know where the hell they came from.
Well, since you buy all my clothes, it didn't come from me. But my long hair I cut off because I had the flu for a week and got tired of waking up with it matted to my face. And I went through and
Who do you think gave you the flu?
Shit, I thought that was all me.
So Doug goes home to what I call, I'm doing air quotes here, what I call not Detroit. But it cracks me up.
So not Detroit.
Yeah.
No, he was from Minnesota.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota, but it's the same like establishing scene where he's going, where it's like, it's Detroit, okay?
Yeah.
It's the same thing opening as Aspen Extreme and all those other movies, especially in the 90s, where we're opening up in this gritty kind of like, we're seeing the factories, we're seeing like the shithole. He's going home to not Detroit and to talk to his brother, and they're talking outside. So he goes in and he makes the announcement that he hasn't been in the Merchant Marines, he's been doing figure skating. to all these like men's men, manly men,
and all those women that went from like trying to slip their tongues down his throat, and all of a sudden the camera like focuses on this one woman when he says figure skating, and you got the old guy in the back. Finger
painting? Did he say finger painting?
Finger painting?
Because that's hilarious.
And I thought it was great. But you got the one woman who just shoved her tongue in his mouth.
Yeah, I thought that was his brother's wife or something, or girlfriend.
She was with somebody who apparently didn't mind that she was tonguing
because everybody kisses everybody in this movie.
Yeah, I mean...
It's just a makeout fest.
Oh, Doug can fuck anybody who wants. And he's not wearing a Jimmy hat. I said Jimmy hat.
You said Jimmy hat?
And I'm all right with that now, all right?
It only took you 15 years.
So they're talking outside, and Doug makes this, and we talked about, we started introducing this concept earlier, but he makes this total slam to his sport, and that's defined him basically. He makes a slam to his sport, and it says that figure skating is harder than hockey. Fuck you, Doug. It's not harder than hockey. It's a different kind of sport.
Did you ever play hockey?
You know what? I played street hockey. All right, we would go out with the neighbors, and I did this in college.
Did you have a toe pick on your skates when you were playing?
No, they were just inline skates. You didn't have any brakes at all. Okay.
Oh wow! How did you function without a toe pick?
How did I stop? So he's making this slam on his own sport. And it says that figure skating is a hell of a lot harder. And do you notice how they really kind of glossed over that? They said the line, and moved up. Like, they're like, we are moving right over that. Because the movie production had to have some kind of, like, hockey connection. The guy I went to watch this movie with, his name was Chuck. I'm not going to say his last name, but his name was Chuck. And he was a total hockey nut. And we went and watched The Cutting Edge.
Why should you go see a chick flick with your?
I'm trying to figure out.
This is a total chick flick with my.
Why? I'm stuck on that.
Because during the previews and all that, there was like this huge hockey promo aspect of it, and that's why
That's how they rope you in. Every single movie defined as a guy action movie is a chick flick.
Oh, all action flicks.
Every
chick
single
flicks,
one.
all of them.
This was the same guy.
Die Hard all the way down.
We also saw Mighty Ducks together. So he was like this total hockey guy, loved hockey, and we watched The Cutting Edge.
Okay, I went and saw.
So they're getting ready for the Nationals through the amazing magic of montages, and Hale proposes to Kate in front of everyone, which is always a mistake.
And this leads up to my favorite line in the whole movie.
Does it? I'm curious to see what. Okay, so if you're in that situation and your fiance says now is not the time, boys, don't propose. It's not going to work.
Back the fuck off. Just call it a wash.
Absolutely.
Wash. It's
if
good.
You're getting ready, and everyone knows when a proposal is coming on, okay? You can smell it from a mile away. And if that person says now is not the time, move on, because she doesn't want you, all right? She thinks you're a piece of meat. She's having some fun with you, but it's time to move on.
If she says not now, oh shit.
If you're getting ready to lay something down, and you're getting ready to pitch your tent, no. This is not going to work.
Pitch your tent.
Get your foundation. Start getting your family.
We're not talking about pitching tents. Is that too grade school, sophomoric, whatever kind of shit? I just pitched.
No, we don't want to get sophomoric on this podcast, Mike.
Oh, okay. Terribly sorry. Terribly sorry. Okay, my favorite line in the whole movie. And Lisa, one of the parts that I was awake watching this with you last night.
You did rewatch it
God
today.
damn it! We struck out again with this movie.
I did rewatch it this morning, but he says I proposed to Katie and she accepted.
And she accepted.
No, my favorite quote in the movie was when Hale says, "I don't like to see her upset," and Doug is like, "Well, if I was you, I'd invest in blindfolds."
This is where I think Doug was really being a prick to Hale, because Hale's being nothing but absolutely civilized and gracious to Doug when he first met.
I thought that the first thing that he said to him was jabby, and I can't remember what he said to him. The first thing that Hale said...
Doug instigates it the whole time.
It was unspoken, but their body language,
It was the same thing as in the movie that we watched, License to Drive. It was it was a cockfight.
Yeah, it totally was.
Doug started it though, okay? Hale comes up and he's like, at last, the secret weapon, extends his hand to shake his hand, and Doug's is like, I've got a wine glass, I can't shake your hand, go fuck yourself. And then he's like, "Oh, you're a prick? Well, I can do this too."
Oh no!
And then that's where Kate's like, "Oh yeah, male insecurity is
totally off base on this. I could be totally off base on this, but I got cockfight from start to finish.
Yeah, I did too.
From both.
I think Hale was being a gentleman. He was being gracious.
But you know what bugs
This
me?
is not the first figure skate he's been introduced to. Come on.
You know what
the
bugs
rest of them
me
were gay.
in life? Not the biggest thing that bugs me, but when I have full hands, why does somebody try to shake my damn hand?
It's like when you're at a restaurant.
Don't be an asshole.
They always come up and ask
What are
you,
you
how is your
supposed to do?
food
Hand it to
after you've
somebody
taken a
and
bite.
shake his hand. Everybody's going to do that.
Just like in a restaurant, after you've taken that big ass bite of food,
And how is everything?
And how is
and asks you about the food.
So he wasn't being an ass when he's holding 2 glasses and the guy tries to shake his hand and he hands him a glass instead.
Doug knows what he's doing. Totally knew what he was
You
doing.
have read so much into so many scenes here that I think was it just wasn't meant
Look,
to be that way.
How else am I supposed to read it? I'm a moviegoer and watching this film. And when I go to shake somebody's hand and they hand me a champagne flute, I'm like,
If their hands,
oh,
Their
go
hands are
fuck
full.
yourself.
He had what hand was available? He could have licked him.
What do you say? You say, oh, I'm so sorry, my hands are full. I'd shake your hand, but my hands are dirty. Or
You ever
my
had
hands are
wet
full.
hands and you're like, gosh, I'd love to. My hands
I
wet.
just went to the bathroom. I didn't pee on my hands,
So
but...
maybe that's where I differ from the rest of the world, because if I've just come out of the bathroom, my hands aren't totally dry, I will go out of my way to shake somebody's hand. Especially if they've seen me come out of the bathroom, I will go out of my way to shake their hand just so they can have that doubt in their mind. Is this water or piss?
So these guys are heading off to nationals, right? And we know they're going to do a good job because this is the part of the movie where they're doing a good job. And
But they didn't.
No, they did. Every single performance, they don't flub or
But
anything like
the
that.
only reason they made it is because the other couple
Flubbed.
They were out.
Okay, one thing that I was waiting for
I mean,
him
we
to
get to that in
mention,
just a second, but yeah.
One thing that I was waiting for him to mention that I was shocked that they didn't, since she, it was pointed out, that she was a big name, I guess, for figure skating, but she was also known to be a hard ass, much like there are certain actors, Shia LaBeouf, and the like, that certain directors steer clear of because they're difficult to work with. The impression that I got was the reason why they were getting such horrible scores, and the scores weren't really that bad, they just weren't that great. But the reason why they didn't get fantastic scores on an amazing run was because the judges were down scoring them because of her.
They say that shit all the time, and I'm not surprised they put that in the movie. Because
I was waiting for that to be mentioned.
Because the last thing that she did publicly was flash her ass and all the camera shots.
So she's becoming like this ice queen.
I was expecting her to go up, find Doug can read. I was waiting for her to find him and say, "I'm sorry, you really did a phenomenal job, but we didn't get high scores because of me." I was waiting for that scene, but it didn't happen.
But right before that, so they've got the short program and long program. The short program's right before, and then they sleep on it, and then they do the long program. Okay.
Which I'm with, dude. They should just do them back to fucking back.
So Doug's complaining about that. He's like, "Oh, short program, long program," and he's got this line that I thought was it's this gag, but I thought it was kind of a stretch. So the foreplay gag is kind of a stretch. There's no other way to interpret that term, foreplay. You can't say that's the screenwriter saying that there isn't enough sexual tension already, so let's throw a clearly sexual word as an innocent double entendre. Nice try, movie.
Most definitely. That's why that was thrown.
I like the word foreplay, and I think that,
how else are you going to use foreplay? Use it in any other context, please.
I think that when you get to know anybody at a bar, when you're doing that whole, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living?
It's a sexual term.
It's foreplay.
To me, it's well, to me, sex isn't sexual, so I don't know.
Damn, I'm cutting that.
She's really a mannequin.
God damn it. Okay.
So maybe it's because of this movie that I look at foreplay as like it's just a word.
As figure skating.
Bullshit. There's no way you can sit there and say, oh, kind of like foreplay and just moving on. You're like, wait, foreplay, what'd you say? Anyway, there's no other way to use the word. So when he's like, what? What's she getting so worked up about? I just said the word foreplay.
It's a verb.
Bullshit.
To me, it is. I think that when you're interviewing for a job, that's foreplay. That is straight up.
Are you going to say the word foreplay in an interview of a job?
No, but it is.
It depends on who's interviewing me.
Yeah, I guess.
How badly do you want the job?
Yeah, exactly. Is this a couch audition?
No, I don't have a problem with the word, and I think it was.
There's no other way to use that word.
It's a sexual reference. It
Absolutely.
really is.
I think it's a stretch from a screenwriting standpoint.
You can use it in damn near any situation. Really, you can. But it's a sexual reference.
In this context, he was supposed to be saying one thing, he was meaning one thing, and she's taking it as another one.
They threw it in there only because, Hale threw out there before foreplay.
Hale.
Because they were fighting all the time.
So
he
then
goes, foreplay.
So then they get to the long program, and they do a good job and all that. He's and then he proceeds to display perhaps the worst example of sportsmanship I've ever seen in real life or the movies in the history of sports by trashing the judges, trashing the sport, and then throws the flowers that were given to him. All right.
He didn't throw them. He smacked them into the wall.
Yeah. Nancy Kerrigan got in a world of shit for offhandedly murmuring about some other skater crying backstage, and it started an international incident, okay?
It did.
Okay, so
I do recall
she got in a world of shit over this. And yet he's like, this is horse shit. And then, like, you call this a sport? This is bullshit. And then destroys the flowers.
But he's also from the hockey world where it's like, where is he going to take out his aggression from not doing
Maybe
well?
he'll get a pass for that, but even
Maybe
in hockey,
he should have just
what
smacked
he
Katie.
did was the worst example of sportsmanship.
Maybe if you had just thrown gloves off and punched Katie, it would have been acceptable. I'm just saying. If we're going back to the
Punched
hockey
her
roots,
right in the face.
If we're going back to the hockey roots,
No, I
he should've just
think
punched her.
it was a true representation of his hockey roots, where he can't get up in a ref's face, he can't get up in the judge's face, so he
can't do anything.
He can't do anything. He doesn't even want to button the top of his button. He's so like, stop controlling
Whatever.
me.
He was throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
That's all
that
it
was a big time temper
That's
tantrum.
all it was.
Yeah.
Honestly, no innuendos implied here at all. But I felt like I should, like a 5-year-old, just throw him over the knee and spank him.
It's like
oh
you need
God.
to take it down a notch, just a notch, okay? I don't want to offend your hockey sensibilities here, but just a notch.
You're throwing a bitch fit. Enough.
So they qualify for the Olympics by default, and they get down to some partying. All right, they're like, okay, we don't have to skate, we don't have to do anything. Right now, we're gonna get down to some partying. We are gonna get drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
right?
wait, hang on.
And
hang
she's
on.
never had alcohol.
And she's
before.
never had alcohol before.
They made it because of Lederhosen.
Oh, god damn
Yes.
it! Right,
It was
I didn't
Lederhosen.
mention that. Yeah, he's the other the Wiederman twins.
Yeah.
Because their hokey pokey dance was just so intricate, so involved that she gently ate shit on the ice. Gently.
This gives a little bit of credibility to the film because all these films that like effortlessly these guys rise up to the ranks and all this shit and they win the nationals, they win the championships, and all they have to do is really just win the whole goddamn thing. But no, they win by default. They
totally.
qualify by default.
Totally.
Yeah. All right, so Kate gets drunk and tries to seduce Doug. And he takes the high road and he's a gentleman.
All hockey players aren't Neanderthals.
No, not at all. He's like, this isn't right and all this shit. But she's doing that whole embarrassing, she gets drunk and she's just trying to like, kiss me. And he's like, you're fucking wasted and then you're not really attractive right now.
No, it's not, that she wasn't attractive because what did he say? He said, not like this.
Not like this, right.
Which does again further, wow, he actually is a decent human being inside.
So he carries her back and it looks like he's carrying a dead animal on his back.
Seriously.
That was gross. She's wearing more fur than I've ever seen in any movie. She's wearing more fur than Cruella de Vil in 101 Dalmatians.
All I could think, okay, you're thinking, dead animal on her back. Whatever.
Oh, that's a corpse on her back.
All I could think was, wow, he is holding on to her ass probably a little more tightly than what he should.
Man, he's so used to that ass right now.
Going back to her ass. It was a nice ass. 23 years ago.
And I was actually wondering if Maura Kelly was really drunk for this scene. She did a really good job playing drunk.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Her eyes were darting back and forth. She's like, the world is spinning right now. It's like, were you drunk?
Honestly, that scene made me want to mix a drink and step out for a cigarette.
It really does suck
It
because
made me want to have a drink. Watching her playing the drum.
shoot tequila. Have you ever shot tequila before?
Yeah.
Really?
There's nothing good about that.
Really?
I'm asking you if you ever shot. I never shot tequila with you, Mike.
Tequila is like my favorite drink on the planet.
I can actually
sip it.
That is the one thing that I can shoot just fine, and it does not make me sick.
I don't sip tequila.
That's right up there with Goldschlager. God, I'm just thinking about it right now.
I don't sip tequila, dude. It's meant to just knock that shit back.
It kind of sucks when someone shoots you down when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Like, that's
why aren't
the
I
definition.
pretty enough? Why don't you want me?
Why don't you love me?
I only asked if I was not pretty enough the one time.
Yeah, I know. It's getting annoying.
This is a history I do not want to know. In fact, none of our listeners want to know this history, okay? But, yeah, buzzkills, man, they're real. They're a real thing, and they absolutely suck.
No, the shitty thing is when you're both hammered... and then the drunk-ass person shoots you down. That is the huge blow to the ego right there.
The point is...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Laura Kelly gets shot down by D.B. Sweeney. And, he basically calls her a drunk and leaves. And then she's just sitting there going, okay, I'm wasted with no one to blow.
So how does he answer that? How does he respond?
He goes back to his hotel room.
And gets drunk with his little shooters.
I've been there. You know what? I've been there. You go into that hotel room and you break the seal of that minibar seal. And instead of spending $35 at the bar, you spend $125 on that minibar.
And you had an Olympic figure skater show up at your door? Really?
This is actually really funny.
So many points right there.
This is really funny. This actress, Rochelle Otley, she comes looking for Doug with her backlight, just ready to go. She's got this backlight crew, and it's like he opens the door and she's like, "Whoa!"
She's got that rose. She's got that rose on her neck.
She's got this huge backlight going on, right? And her hair is just like glowing.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
It might have been the lighting, but yeah, she was hot. She was hot.
So she says she has a great cis-spin, and they get down to some fucking. Yep.
Implied.
Yeah. It's what?
They might have just taken a bubble bath.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's
PG.
I thought it was PG too.
But
because in general, PG movies suck.
They said shit and goddammit.
Oh, that's right. No, they said goddamn it a lot, which I think was
shit.
okay.
And bullshit.
For 92?
I think it was okay.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
They don't say fuck. I think that's going to be the PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't say fuck. All right. So I'm thinking that Kate's sole motivation for going to Doug's room the night after is to have a place.
To get laid?
No, not.
Kate, not the other chick.
Yeah.
Not the other chick.
So I'm thinking her sole motivation to get to Doug's room is so she has a place to puke because she locks herself out and then she sees the cart.
Seriously,
food.
Okay, that's what I was waiting for.
She's too highbrow to puke in the hallway. So she's gonna.
I think she's
like,
a place to puke.
I need to run to Doug's room and apologize.
It was total bullshit. Well, I came to apologize to you.
She came to a place to puke.
That was it. That's all it was.
Can I look and see if your bathroom is different than mine?
Yeah. Yes, so she comes up with this pretense that she was.
It is PG.
Oh, it's PG. Okay. Oh, that kind of makes sense. So I have never once in my entire life forgotten what transpired the night before when I got totally drunk. Not once.
It's happened to me once in my life.
Where you forgot what happened?
I woke up with wet hair and I couldn't figure out when I took a shower.
I have felt stupid about things, but I've never once forgotten that I did that.
I have woken up the next day.
I think it's bullshit.
That was the first time in my life, because I had always called bullshit on people who said that, but no, I was...
You were blackout drunk.
I was blackout drunk.
The most... I
Your
think
hair was wet because
the most
pool.
Embarrassing moment...
Skinny dipping will do that.
I think the most embarrassing moment for me when I got totally drunk was getting escorted off of the stage at Sing Sing.
Oh, yes.
That was probably the most...
actually going to bring up Sing Sing. That's so funny.
Where you're about to make the claim that I don't remember that, but bullshit. I totally remember every single moment of that.
Do you remember smacking the shit out of the back of an Audi with your hands?
I remember everything that night. That's my whole point. I remember every single thing.
The woman driving the car came out
I was getting ready to go fight a woman, on the street.
Yeah, you were ready to fight this woman, and then afterward, you saw a newspaper laid out on a doorstep.
I said I wanted to forget this shit, Mike,
and then you went to crawl up. You're like, it looks so inviting, and you crawled up onto the newspaper in this doorstep.
Yeah, that had to have been your biggest night of shame.
It was pretty much, that's my biggest night of shame.
I have woken up the next day praying that I could forget.
Or that nobody would bring it up.
How big of an ass. Oh, no, everybody's going to bring it up.
But I always remember it.
I always remember. But yes, I always wake up praying that.
I wish I forgot your
forget
Christmas
it.
party. That's one night I wish I would have forgotten.
Which one?
Where
She had her
I had my
employee
brand
here.
new employee over here, and she's all young and 20, and she's like, "Let's do shots of Jaeger." And so I was like,
damn,
"Okay."
my boss was there.
Yeah.
Everybody was there.
And I was like, "But I just need to eat something first." So I ate spinach dip, and then started doing shots of Jaeger. Within 30 minutes of me arriving to your party, 30 minutes.
She was puking.
I told
That was fast.
I said, yeah, it was
was
so
really
fast. And I
fast.
told you, I said, I just need to lay down. And so I go to lay down in your guest bed, and I was like, I have to puke. And I swore that you said to me,
No, he did.
"It's okay, you can just
He
puke
did.
right here." So I
He
threw
did.
up on myself the entire night.
all over the bed. And
All night. Don't
And-
ever eat spinach dip with black
And
alcohol.
where was Mike? Where was Mike for this? Cuddling you, trying to wipe the vomit off of your face.
That's-
even though I was
that's-
That
covered.
was a damn good party.
I
though.
was
that was a
covered
good
in
I
party.
would
your
have
vomit.
loved to
Experience that party?
I don't
Yeah.
remember that party. Why? Because I was laying in vomit with your sister.
Okay, so this is the point in the movie where, okay, it's right after they're yelling at each other, and she finds that he's been fucking the Pakarich,
The
what's her name?
Huda
The redhead, the redheaded ice skater.
Yeah, but
Which I didn't like her, and I didn't like her
Oh, I did.
character casting, all that. I didn't like it.
Oh,
You
I
didn't
thought-
like
I thought
it?
she was-
No.
She's not an actor. She's not an actor. She's a dancer, and she's done 2 movies. This one and some other thing
Roadhouse.
called Roadhouse. Who didn't do Roadhouse? That was their one acting thing. But no, she's definitely not an actor. But I will give her props. She's not an actor at all. They yanked her off of the street basically, and she did a good job. She was acting. She did a good
I
job.
thought she did great.
Yeah, for
She
that.
bugged the crap out of me.
Don't
Well, she's
hate.
supposed to be the antagonist. I mean,
It wasn't in an antagonist way that she bugged me. She bugged me. I didn't like her.
Because she was
I didn't
hot.
like
she
her
was a
face.
redhead.
I didn't like her face.
I didn't like her
See,
face.
It's because she was hot and a redhead. That's why
You really thought she was hot? Oh well, whatever.
yeah, I did.
No.
I think you got more of a thing for redheads than I do.
Oh, I've got a huge thing for redheads.
I don't have a red thing for redheads anymore.
You don't have a
mind
red
you,
thing
you
for
know.
redheads?
Well, thank God you got that checked.
Let's just go ahead and just put that out there. Let's make sure the internet knows I don't have a thing for redheads anymore. Okay, so I don't understand why the filmmakers felt compelled to give a one-liner blind date. You know, when he got out the elevator and she's yelling at him and she goes and takes off.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, blind date, and then you have the snaring cymbal. Ba-dum, tsh. It's like, that was absolutely unnecessary. She said, his last line before that stupid blind date line was, I've been practicing, she says, get out of my way, and he says, I've been practicing that move for the last 1.5 years. Cut to an interior ice rink day. That's what you do with that. You don't say, blind date. Bullshit. That's the only mistake this movie made. In
Could
the
you
script.
really have cut that straight from there to there?
Absolutely, yes. It's a dissolve at the very least. It's a dissolve.
But you have to address the awkwardness that the other person felt.
I've
in
been
the elevator,
practicing that move for the last 1.5 years.
which was God. That's a
Angry.
good line.
Yes, it's a
I
great
thought it
line.
was great. And his...
Dissolve to ice rink.
What was it?
Finger
was it cheesy?
painting?
Yeah, seriously. What was it? Cheesy as hell? Yes, but I didn't have a problem with him saying blind date.
I thought it was bullshit.
it
Absolutely
was-
unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, yes, but I didn't have a problem.
This movie, up until this point, did a really good job of keeping the script going, flowing, and the pace good. That stopped the movie dead in its tracks for me. I was like sitting there going, what the fuck was that for?
I can see that.
So they introduced the secret weapon of the movie. All right, you got the special move, and it's the Pancheco twist, which we
Such
talked about it earlier.
bullshit.
It's just a bounce spin. Lots of variations on this bounce spin. Lisa and I have done a variation on the bounce spin, and it's not a big deal. It's illegal. It's completely illegal. Okay, so
Was it illegal then?
yeah. And I looked this up. It's not a gray area, as the coach says. It's
Because I thought it was only illegal after somebody tried it and they bounced her face off of the
But
ice.
how could
because
they
you
have,
would do, yeah.
How can they have actual figure skating commentary people there and judges that are actually in the industry and be like, this is bull. Why did nobody call bullshit if it's
It's
actually
like
illegal?
at that point you're not going to stop it, right? But what you are going to do is pencils down. They're completely disqualified
I
to doing
think-
this thing. Why would
no,
you
but
risk
I mean,
that?
like in making the movie, why didn't they
I think
say,
what killed this movie for me was that bit right there.
Even at the time, ISU rules state that bounce spins are what they're called, headbangers. All right, they're illegal. You can be disqualified. This is not a good idea.
You can kill somebody with those.
Yeah,
That's
if you're going to try to go for difficulty over perfection, because they couldn't beat perfection because the Russian team had that, right? Russian team had perfection. So if you're going to get points over them, you're going to go for difficulty. Yeah,
they went for a stunt.
They went for a stunt. All right, so if you're going to do that, why not just go for a series of difficulty over this completely illegal move, which is going to get you disqualified?
I wonder how many people tried it. I mean, sure shit, we did. I remember you picking me up by the ankles and being like, Lisa, let's try this.
Fuck all that.
Are you kidding
me?
this.
No, it's common in shows.
That explains a lot of problems that Lisa has to this day.
This move is common in in show, like Dancers on Ice or Snoopy on Ice. They're common in those. They're exhibition moves. All right.
Snoopy did this shit.
I don't know if Snoopy did it.
That'd be funny as fuck to see Snoopy.
But like the escapades, the ice capades. Yeah, this is a very common move in the ice capades. But you don't do this in competition because it's fucking dangerous. You can't do this.
That wasn't the problem I had with this. This just kind of made it like some cartoony kind of a. That was the feel that I got from the end of the movie. Just cartoony, where you don't actually see the maneuver. You see him flailing her around, and every time her face came close to the ice,
didn't they, Mike?
I was like,
wincing. I was like,
oh god, she's gonna hit. Oh, she's gonna eat shit hard right there. But no.
Oh, when they're practicing it and everything?
No, not practice. When they were practicing it was like, okay, cool, ha ha ha. I get it. It's supposed to be, the fabled move or maneuver, that no one's ever been able to pull off before.
They just wanted to get that damn move in the movie. That's all, But the coach is like, hey, illegal, it's a gray area. It's not a gray area, it's fucking illegal.
If they wanted to get that move in the movie, they should have shown that move.
But we don't know if they got disqualified because it never showed it.
That's
so
right.
Don't even stress over it.
Lisa, that's actually why I really like this movie. They don't show him on the gold podium at all. They just ended it, And we're gonna get to that.
I just thought it was cartoony bullshit.
Yeah. So this movie does something that's a little bit funny. It goes from playful banter to mutual respect, resentment, absolute loathing to total love. All right, there's no real transition there, in that order.
That sounds like real life.
So the argument.
But it still gave that goofy grin that you get on your face when you're watching a movie alone, like, I love the ending, where you look like you're taking a crap, you just are smiling so weird.
That was me watching Stick It.
But Stick It's a piece of shit, and this movie's not. The argument in the dining hall is Doug going ballistic on everyone and getting ready to hang it all, and then he instantly in love with her. And I think it has to do with the fact that just for once in her whole life, Kate is acting like a fucking human being, where he's like, holy shit. Everything else notwithstanding, she's a human being. Do you not
understand the I hate you, I love you, I hate you, I love you?
No,
being able to switch between that? Hey, Mike, did you like me when you first met me?
Yes.
But how'd you act towards me?
I tried to convince myself that I couldn't stand you.
Right, so you were all like,
I tried to convince myself that you were hideous.
Yeah.
Which was just fucking stupid.
So it is it's typical to go from that. There's a banter, there's foreplay between somebody when they are hating each other so much, but yet they're becoming closer and closer, and they're getting jealous. They're getting jealous when somebody gets engaged.
Was there any signs of love, though, in this movie? He went straight to I love you.
It was dripping with it.
Oh, dude, it was all over the place.
There was sexual tension. That's not love. There was sexual tension, which you're going to get with any kind of other than siblings, you're going to get any kind of partner dance relationship or.
No, I get that. I get that, but it was all over the movie. It was it was shown in his mannerisms, stares.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they would look at each other.
Even the New Year's approach, where they all of a sudden,
shot, wasn't that?
Where they come together, and it was this. There was so much sexual tension between that. Yeah.
Can we get a little bit more obvious?
Sparklers right there. Oh, look, they're seeing sparks.
You know what? It was obvious, but I still loved it.
There are sparks.
I'm surprised that wasn't the movie cover.
Sparks.
That should have been.
It should have been. Yeah.
That should have been the title of the movie. Sparks between them. No, sparks between them.
So, Doug, what's that?
No, I was just it was dripping with the not just physical attraction, but it was dripping with the wow. I mean, it was shown throughout with the prolonged stares.
The jealousy,
jealousy from the gift
thought
giving.
of gift giving, where he gives his most prized thing. They were falling for each other the whole time. The whole time, Trav.
How did you not see that?
I looked at it as Stockholm syndrome. It's like it felt a little bit rushed, like there was something missing, like it was actually edited or something. There was something on the cutting room floor that was easing that transition because it seemed really fucking fast.
Do I like this movie? It was all right. But
I fucking love this movie.
I totally got the love story. I mean, okay, I saw the movie as an ice skating movie. You saw the movie as a
love
story. I
saw it as a love
story with ice skating as a backdrop, but you didn't get the love story.
I thought it was just a little bit rushed. And, guys, I'm really nitpicking because this script is solid. It's really solid.
Do you know how long it takes to train for nationals, to train for the Olympics? And you're thinking that it's rushed?
I was just going to ask the same thing. Lisa, do you?
Time has passed. How often do the Olympics happen?
I know time has passed because there were 6 montages in this movie. In every shot, you show a little improvement.
If they would have shown the movie, like an actual time-lapse kind of a deal, it would have been like a 12-hour movie.
But they're going from the point that they first bumped into each other, which was at the Olympics, and the Olympics happen every 4 years, correct? So they first bumped into each other at Calgary.
I thought that they were really only training together maximum 2 years. Maximum. Because she'd been going through all of her partners.
There's 4 years in between.
Yeah.
She knocked into him.
That was her first encounter, and then she went up through all of the other suitors, as it were.
It was like 2 years later that.
that 2 years.
Came back to her.
We're still talking
they were with
years.
each other for 2 years.
Yeah. So it's okay for them to fall in love.
Okay. All right. So Doug professes his love, and Kate tells him that. So they're going to go ahead and do this illegal move, even though she said they weren't doing it. And they skate out of love to a score that would make washing my socks exciting. This score would make
socks, dude, and it's pretty
if I was washing
it's pretty fucking exciting.
It is.
I'm just saying.
My socks are pretty interesting, but if I put the score to it, you could stick it up on the big screen and sell tickets because this score is fucking amazing. And so they are perfect and enjoy each other. And she tells Doug that she loves him, and Han Solo says, "I know." And we roll credits, and they make 3 more shitty sequels.
Han Solo. What?
You didn't get that?
No. No.
I guess you have to be a Star Wars fan.
Okay, no, I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm just not a Star Wars fanatic.
Look, you telling me they're not going for Han Solo in this shit? She says, "I love you," and he's like, "Just remember who said it first."
It was this guy. It's the same thing. Princess Leia was a bitch. She was bitchy.
She was.
Don't you think there are parallels in this? Don't you think this is part of our lexicon of our cinematic experience?
Right. Fine, he's Han Solo. Cool.
He's totally Han Solo.
Oh my god.
How can he not be? Doug Dorsey is Han Solo,
On ice. Han Solo on ice.
Han Solo on ice.
Disney does own it now.
Robot
Disney
chicken
does own it now. You might get Han Solo on ice.
That next movie is gonna be fucking awesome. You guys saw the trailer?
We did.
We're discussing Cutting Edge. not.
And we actually watched the football game for the football game.
I watched the football game for that fucking trailer.
Yeah,
man.
I
told you he was going to be watching it.
I'm like, why is this halftime taking so goddamn long? Come on, let's go. All right, so obviously you guys like the movie. Let's go around the horn and we'll. Is it a recommend or not? Mike, let's start with you.
Did I leave the movie or walk away from the movie, thinking, "Oh God, I've so got to watch this," or "I'm so going to recommend it to all my friends"? No, but I do think that it is worth a watch. I do think it's worth a watch.
Why is it worth a watch?
I like sappy love stories.
Okay. No, if that's what you're going for, you're definitely going to get it with this movie.
Okay, but you have to be going into this movie knowing what you're going to get from this movie.
It's an ice skating movie.
This isn't Dancing with Daisies all around us. I mean, this is a fall on your ass, get hit in the face, tough love story.
I wasn't even thinking about that. Just understand that you're watching a chick flick. You're watching a sappy love story.
And you're watching a PG movie.
Yes. Provided
there are
you understand.
Just so few PG movies that I can stomach.
Provided that you understand what you're actually going in to watch, then yes, it is definitely worth watching.
I am surprised that you needed a disclaimer there. As long as you know what you're going to watch. No, I could.
You think the movie is solid on its own merit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Completely.
it's a solid.
It's a solid recommend.
Definite. Okay.
Yeah.
Definite recommend for you. I'm recommending the hell out of this only because I grew up with this movie and I forced my very machismo friends to go watch this movie as well. And you know what? When I was sitting in the theater and I was watching it with Chuck, and this couple in front of us, this woman was standing up and she screamed yes when dude caught her on the Pamchenko twist, and it got people completely balls out excited for it. And you know what? It does do that. You can watch this movie today and be completely rooting for him, feel completely American, and it's a great movie going experience.
Okay,
Absolute recommend for me.
I did watch this movie today, and I didn't feel any, patriotism.
I
always like to.
I was watching a cheesy love story.
I always like to pull one of the kiddos in because Mike normally falls asleep while I'm watching it at night, and then he rewatches it the next day. But I pull one of the kiddos in and we snuggle up and we watch it. And if they get up and leave, then I know, oh, okay, this doesn't grab people of all ages. But he stuck with it the whole time, was entertained by it the whole time.
My ass, he passed out.
He did not pass out.
Before the end of the movie, he was snoring in my ear.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, which kid's the
Ethan.
youngest?
Youngest.
Ethan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was snoring in my ear.
Really? He didn't get into it?
It was. I finished it at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's why I passed out. I had been up since 5
curious
o'clock.
But he didn't get up to go play video games when I started it. He stuck with
That
me
is
and
true.
snuggled.
That is very true, and that is
Did
a
he
good,
cry?
solid point.
He always cries.
Yeah, so he did cry.
No, he did
He
not
did not.
cry.
He probably fell asleep
was
before
snoring.
then.
He was snoring. He did not cry.
He would have made, if he made it to the end, he might have. Yeah.
Whatever. I would sooner cry to this movie, than fucking Gremlins.
Well, Gremlins is pretty touching.
You know what's funny is this did not make me cry. And normally at the end, the big da, like we overcame this and we overcame that, and I get it in football movies and baseball movies all the time. I'm like,
That home
heartless
makeover movie.
bitch.
That home makeover show. We would watch every single freaking Sunday, and we would both sob watching this show.
We would.
The kids would
when
come in
you
and make fun of
overcome
us.
something. But these were two
Yes.
people who were strong-willed.
There was no overcoming
Awesomeness.
anything. It was
No.
making a name for yourself. That's
Yeah.
all it was. There was no overcoming of anything.
It did not make me cry.
No.
I could understand the getting up and cheering, yes, but it wasn't like a.
No, these people in the theater. I mean, and we were in a theater with like probably 10 other people. And yeah, she totally is like, yes! And you could tell that she didn't really mean to do that. Like she was overcome with the moment of the movie.
Kind of like me watching Me, Myself, and Irene with you when I was the only person in the theater laughing hysterically when Jim Carrey
That's a
was
shit
suckling
movie.
on that
It's a
woman's
shit
nipple.
movie.
That fucking...
I was the only person in the
cannot
theater.
abide that movie.
I was the only person in the theater laughing hysterically.
And everyone else is like, oh my God, what am I watching?
Everybody else in the theater was...
You know what, folks? Maybe it all comes down to, can you relate to it?
Can you really? And you know what? Yeah, that's
that's
probably...
everything.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
everything in life. Can you relate?
Well, with that was the Cutting Edge, 1992.
Yes, I do recommend. It is worth a view.
Directed by directed by Paul Michael Glasser.
Written by Tony Gilroy.
Yeah, there you go. This particular podcast is brought to you by our good friends at recycle-bikeparts.com. Why buy new when used will do? That's just our advice from a couple of dicks. If you want to get a hold of us, send an email to FlicksandDicks@gmail.com. Let us know how we're doing, and shooting us an email on a movie you'd like us to talk about. Make sure you check out our other podcast under iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or anywhere you get the podcast. Keyword Flicks and Dicks. Until then, stay cool. This is Travis.
I'm Mike.
I name Lisa.
Take it easy.